a few things have happened to more or less help you along this way. As your team managed to also help out the city itself, the civilian did manage to get into a more quarantine-like area situation. Basically, they're in a makeshift uh, section right now, but that's not everyone that is going there. There are obviously some people that decide not to go there to get helped out with the situation at hand because they really don't know what's going on. People panic when they're afraid. Go figure. But your teammates, some of them, as well as the individual that Dust knows, will be helping out in this regard, perhaps finding people that have been lost within the city that have yet to bring themselves forwards. Overall, though, you can tell that they're in good hands, at least for now. Right now, they are the only hands you've got. So, yeah, the Faith Leader you rescued and the Alchemist that you have more or less hired will be assisting the town to recuperate. Now, your team has found themselves at the shop with some money, but not a whole lot of it, because, well, you did save the city, but unfortunately, that was not something you were supposed to do. Well, I should rephrase that differently. You did save the city, but no one hired you for that job just yet. So, in order to get paid, you need to get, well, to go and speak with the king. But before that, you also were talking about going to an observatory and going to the northernmost city. That has gone dark and MIA for the moment in time. And that's where you guys currently are at. After shopping a little bit, Finny, you got your butterfly blade. I believe it was the sword. And a few of you got a few other things, but nothing major. And that's... yes.
Yeah, I would say that an invisibility gem is pretty nice.
Okay, nothing major as in extremely game-breaking. Although that is still pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Also, welcome, Nikolai.
Thank you.
But yes, this is where you're at now, and this is where you're starting.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Was there anything else that seemed off about anybody coming in, or are we the only ones you've seen in the past couple days?
Within the past couple days, there have been very few people that are not from this city beforehand. There have been robed individuals in the night on the streets, but as of last night, they have not been seen since.
See.
Some people do state that they flew up into the sky and left the city, but I'm afraid I wasn't awake to see that.
You're saying flew up in the sky. Is that a metaphor or is that literal?
I'm not entirely sure. It was a rumor I heard. Perhaps someone in the city, maybe someone in the makeshift hospital might be able to speak better. I'm afraid I do not know.
How far is the king from here? Is the king near here?
The kingdom is roughly around a week and a half's travel. Not too difficult.
Is that on the road to what was the name? What is this town? The town up north. I can't remember the name.
That's fine. The town up north, Coda.
Coda, yes. Sorry.
Not exactly. If you go towards the capital city of Isle, it would be... you wouldn't lose much time, but you would lose some time. So whatever you intend to do up in the north, it all depends if it's needed abruptly.
Well, what does everyone think that we should do first?
I wanted to rephrase myself. I was asking her, how far is the king? Is the king in this town? Or is he...
I'm afraid we're governed by a mayoral system in this town.
Okay, thank you.
It's not a problem. However, I will state that the former, potentially current mayor was one of the first few people that disappeared.
Whoa.
It's when the Knights took over, and then the church took over. Currently, perhaps, if they're still alive, the current individual that might be able to help you out in perhaps getting information would be one of the remaining soul worship leaders. I believe one of them's still in town.
And where would they be located?
Last I heard, they were at the makeshift hospital. Their name is Horace.
Horace?
Yes.
Yeah, we had saved him, and just above game, we'd saved him, and we essentially went and did some shopping because we really didn't.
We've met Horace before. I think that we've done something great deal for him.
Then I'm sure they'd be more than willing to speak with you then.
Thus, do you believe that we might go talk to Horace, since we did gain his favor with saving him?
Well, we could go help him. Right now, he has a lot on his plate right now, so we can go and see what he's done, what needs to be done.
Okay, I suppose that would be the first place we could stop.
The hospital is still in town, so you're not really going anywhere. You did finish shopping, I think, so Vol does need to go back to the bar because that's where... Oh, no, wait. Vol does need to visit the outside gates because that's where the bird will come back.
Yeah, we were essentially... At this point in time, we were essentially waiting for message from the king. And then we were going to leave soon after we got the message, like the following day, depending on what time. So...
Yeah, so Vol will be heading outside with the one remaining NPC other than herself that is with you guys. Of course, Grok will return at a much later time.
Well, I suppose we better go see Horace.
Very well.
let's...
Vol does state. All right. I'm gonna go head out in the outside gates. I'll let you know if anything happens, but it honestly should be boring.
Vol, take care.
I'm just going like a mile out.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, stay safe.
All right. She nods, worried that you might be. Well, you're no Starleaf.
Yeah, I'm not Starleaf, but I mean, I don't know. I just you're capable. You know, yeah.
Yeah. She's already missing Starleaf already. That being said, though, you guys are heading towards Horse?
Yeah, which is the clinic.
Yes. Okay. Open air clinic, because I did not have a clinic map, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending.
Open. Oh. It's the person that Nikolai knows. Yeah.
Entering into the area, you do see that a few people, well, more than a few, are quite injured and hurt. Some of them likely were injured due to the upbringing of last night. Some of them were doing some other things, and a lot of them seem to have the harboring mark on their body. Some of the cloth is strapped down with basically medical tape to make sure that it's visible and eye apparent to make sure that any time and chance that the alchemist that's currently inside, while these guys are outside, is visibly known, to make sure that once it's gone, it's gone. But right now, there's a menagerie of people here. As soon as you arrive, Horse does greet you all. Oh, welcome. It has been a few hours since I've seen you all.
Yes, it's good to meet you. Finally, in better circumstances.
Yes. Well, better than last night, I can tell you that much for sure. So, what brings you all here? Not that I'm not grateful for the help you've already given.
Well, it seems we're looking for was it information on what was it again?
The mayor.
The mayor, yes. The location, was it the mayor? The location of the mayor?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm afraid one of the few people that went missing first was indeed the mayor. Looking towards the patient to your right, he speaks with them for a little bit, chit-chats, and then gets back to you. I'm afraid they have been missing in town, and quite literally from town, for quite a few weeks now. If there's any new information, I'll let you know, but as of right now, they're one of the few people that have gone completely missing. But some of the few people that have gone missing from the start haven't yet arrived or been seen again. My theory is that they've been taken out of town by some means.
Yes. There was talk among those that they were creating an army, and those who are no longer here most likely have been taken to form those ranks.
Terrible thing that.
Yes.
So hopefully we can find them and bring them back without any problem, but there probably will be a good shot that we won't ever see them again. You won't ever see them again.
As of right now, I wasn't even sure I would see the outside world again.
Yes.
I'll take my blessings where I may.
Hey, Horace, since it is the mayor, is there any reward for bringing him back?
I'm sure there's some type of governance reward upon retrieval, but I suppose you could speak with the new mayor once they're elected within the coming week.
In a week.
And Finny, it will be very tough to track him down.
You know that so far it's been correct me if I'm wrong, 1 or 2, I guess 2 or 3 weeks now, and the world has fallen into a spiral of decay and corruptedness that have taken over the region, and you're expecting to have a mayor in a week?
No, we need governance soon. If we allow this to completely decimate our city, well, we won't survive soon after now, will we? We need someone to actually lead the people and make sure that they're safe, or at the very least feel safe. I'm not saying that one should go out and find the old former mayor. I'm just saying that if you do, the new mayor that will be elected soon will potentially be able to pay for the service rendered.
I see. So you do have a leader as a temporary one.
I'm afraid I'm the current temporary one.
Well, we did save the town, I guess.
I suppose
and we did save you, too.
Yes, that is true. I'm gonna go speak with the what would a mayor have? Would it be a secretary?
A ledger?
Captain? Oh.
Executive assistant?
Executive assistant, I think, sounds right.
Yeah.
Horace does stay. I'll go speak with the executive assistant as of right now. At any rate, just wait here a few moments. I'll be back, and I'll make sure that what I can provide for you is provided. He heads off and goes into this side house.
Ada.
What? Yes.
Hey, do you know about like things from like different planes of existence?
Depends on the thing, and what are you talking about?
Well, I did go into a weird I don't know. It seemed like the astral plane at one point. And I was wondering, I saw something there, and I wanted to know what it was. And I don't know who would be able to find out what it is because Dust didn't know. So I thought if you had some kind of magical understanding, you might have some idea.
Well, can you try to explain? Because this is starting to sound like some therapy session.
Or that he's drunk again. Nikolai, how much do you explain? Like the whole thing or just some of it?
All I know is that I have I give her the sketch of the mind flare that I had, and I tried to explain that there was people on a ship in the astral plane.
Okay, so talking about the information that you have about a squid face person, you show them the portrait drawing. You give them the detailed storyline. Ada, go ahead and roll history. There would be no advantage or disadvantage. It'd just be plain luck.
Where is this? There it is. Wow, that was a bad roll for a night.
Oh, no. Oh, that's okay.
You vaguely have this type of information that you might have heard this type of story before, like stories to tell people that try to adventure too far in the horizon, warning tales of creatures in the dark that can see you wherever you may lay. Other than that, you don't really have any concrete information, or at the very least, nothing that's coming to mind.
So basically, a children's story or a children's tale.
More or less,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I never. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, didn't help with that, didn't I?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It's okay.
Did you ask Vinny?
I mean, I could. I just didn't know if he really knew about that kind of thing, that kind of stuff.
It sounds familiar, yet it's not coming to my mind.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't seem like a guy that would know about like planes of existence and worlds, and I don't know. I mean, I could.
You never know.
Yeah.
As you begin to discuss whether Finney may or may not know what a mind flare is at the game, the assistant of Horace does come over and does state, "All right, which one of you is asking for money from the current leader?" Horace does state, "Come now, Grok. It's not like that. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to discuss things in a business sense. Don't."
I point to Finney.
Grok comes over, looks towards Finney. All right, you basically stated that beforehand you had assisted the current deputy mayor, Sir Horace here, on acquiring assets such as the release of the city. Let's see here, saving of current deputy mayor, and potential extinction of the city itself. Is that right to my understanding?
Yes, we have.
All right. Horace, do you contribute to any of this, or do you dissuade in any such way, shape, or manner? No, not technically, not really. All right, then. Let's see here. Based off each topics that you've covered around, I don't suppose any of you work for the kingdom itself?
No.
Two of us do.
Yes.
Three of you guys do, yeah.
And are these two other individuals freelancers or hires?
Acquaintances?
Recent acquaintances
Companions?
People who met
/ hires
and decided to help.
We know of them. Yes, they're good people. Yes.
I'm gonna write them down as freelancers then. All right. Based off all the work and two governing factors, you will be allotted the entire amount rather than a busybody sum. He just shows you the paperwork, and he does state like a chart. But over the course of basically 10 minutes, he does give you eventually
This goes
100.
on.
Yeah, 100 gold each.
Oh, nice.
Worth it.
Oh, thank
Worth
you.
class.
Thank you.
Right. That being said, if there's anything else you can do, I'm afraid that will be at your own risk factor, as we are currently low on funds.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, it's okay. I mean, we're just trying to help, and I mean, anything that you can do for us is appreciated.
Of course. Now then, Grok looks towards Horace. Do take care and make sure not to find anyone else that is so money hungry. Well, they weren't really money hungry. They were just curious. Either way, I need to make sure that anyone that needs to be paid needs to be paid. We're not exactly doing the best right now, Horace. And then he heads over back into the shop. Horace.
And as he's leaving, I just be, and truth be told, if we had waited until we met with the king, there could have been we could have gotten a whole lot more.
Well, that's like a week's journey. I mean, it would have taken so much more. I mean, like, I don't know.
Horace, go ahead, Finny.
I think there's still more to be made. We're talking about saving old mayors and still doing.
Is this all about money? I thought it was more about like the adventure or like the travel.
I was just about to say it's more about saving lives.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Nikolai, I think you already know the answer. You spoke to me a long time ago about this.
Not about money, gentlemen. It's not about money.
I'm a mercenary. It's all about money for me. I'm a soldier.
Yeah. It's not about money. Yes. It's not always about money. It can be about money, but it's not always.
At this point, I'm assuming some of you chuckle, and I'm going to say Finny. I feel like Finny would remember. Well, anyone else could remember this, but I'm going to just go with Finny. Finny, when hearing this, you obviously realize, it's mostly about the money, more or less. And then you realize, you probably should have done this when Vol was here, because she could have also been paid. And then there's Grok. And there's the Alchemist.
Never tell them. Well, we're going to have to tell them.
Like, at a game, they're NPCs. They don't really need to be paid. I just sometimes increase what they can do with that payment. That being said, though, you're fine if you don't tell them. You don't have to. But you can tell that Grok is very good at his job. He made sure to only need to pay what he needed to pay.
If somebody doesn't want their gold, I will take it also.
Well, I mean, money's money, so I mean, it's just what you need. So yeah.
Horace does state. Is there any other information I can give you beforehand? I was here for a while longer than most, but not forever.
Are you a magic user or more of a patron or something of the sort?
I'm a cleric by trade. High cleric of the life domain. Not exactly the best, but I'm not exactly the worst. I can heal some curses here and there. I can cure some people of ailments.
What? Curses?
Yes, like family curses of bad luck and such, or like minor curses of ailments and predicaments.
Hey, Horace.
Yes.
Can you yeah. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm going to write. I'm gonna do this in like secret.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna like take out. I'm gonna like. I don't know if I have it. I don't have any kind of like. I don't have anything that I can write on, but I want to take out. Basically, I'll just tell you what I'm gonna do without like doing it first. I want to take out a piece of paper and write down like my name and say, "Hey, can I meet you?" If it's like later tonight before we get this message from the king, or like because we're gonna stay here for now. So can I meet you at this location because I want to show you a curse, but I don't want them to know about it.
Okay. You rip off some of the piece of paper that Serrano gave you about his business in Quota. You write down that message. You give it to Horace. Horace flips it open, quickly furls it back up, and he just nods.
Okay. I was suggesting like a bar or somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then he basically pockets the paper away and then claps his hands. Now then, the rest of you, I'm more than willing to answer a few questions, but I do need to get back to my work.
And we have played
Any around here?
Pardon.
Do you happen to need any help around here?
Thankfully enough, I do have your alchemical assistant, Grok, and blanking on her name, Mercy. So thankfully, I do have the numbers, just maybe not the resources right now. But thankfully enough, once we begin to cure some people, they'll be able to help out in turn.
Okay.
As he says this, Serrano does come out, basically climbs up on top of the weird pedestal system thing, and then comes over to you guys. Not to you specifically, but towards Horace. Looking towards him, Serrano does state, "Oh, well, Horace, it does seem that the next patch is ready. So sometime within an hour or so, we should get the next group ready to be isolated." Right. And can't have everyone just looking at them when they molt. No, we cannot. It's rather disgusting. Then realizes that you're all there. Oh! Welcome.
The research coming. Are you doing everything good on the slime and the crystal research?
I mean, if I have more, I can definitely do more. I just have the resources you gave me today.
I was just saying you have, yeah. Well, yeah. More. I mean, also the like curse, the resource, the research on the people and how they're doing and ways of reversing it. I suppose. Also that.
That'll take time. I'm afraid I'm a little busy right now.
I see.
It has only been a couple of hours, Nikolai.
Yes, I understand.
I mean, come back in a week, 2 weeks.
Times travels in weird times, and it feels like it's been like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, true. Quite true. Especially if in the Feywild. Now it could be 10 months or 2 seconds. Then he just stays quiet for a while, like holding an awkward silence. After
I'm ready to go. I thought we were leaving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Penny, if you wanted to leave, we can. That's okay.
Well, we were leave in the morning.
Yes.
Yes. You mentioned something about a bird and payment and transactions.
What? Oh, wait, a bird?
Yeah, something about a bird from the kingdom, from Isles King. And getting payment for these two. Looks towards Ada and Penny. You mentioned at the bar before we all left to our own separate directions. Yeah, but it's neither here or there. Horace, well, when you're ready, I'll select the next 10 candidates, isolate them, and then begin the molting process. To the rest of you, he does leave and then simply states, "I'll be here if you need me."
Wow, I like that Serrano. He was talking about money.
More or less, is what Horace says.
Yeah, well, let's get going. Let's not get in their way.
Well, yes. After you, Dust, lead the way.
After a while of traveling and then just perusing here and there, basically setting up shop before making your way out of town, sometime tomorrow, you do eventually make your way back to Delilah's shop.
Tomorrow?
Potentially. You just don't know when the note is going to arrive.
Wait, I was setting up a meeting for. Is this tomorrow or is this today?
I said potentially tomorrow. Like, you're just walking around until you potentially
okay.
need to leave tomorrow. Sorry, I'm going to phrase that awkwardly.
Yeah, you're good.
Heading in, Vol does meet you guys here. And she does simply state, well, welcome. First of all, it's kind of dead in here. Delilah does state, well, that kind of happens when people are in a panic. Usually they like to drink, but I've been told not to sell alcohol to people that have been currently on medicine. I don't know why.
I mean, that makes the alcohol taste better. I mean, I think.
Well, glad if you're willing to buy alcohol, I'm more than willing to sell it to you. But make yourselves at home, I suppose.
Well, I mean, I already have alcohol, so there's no point of buying more. As Nikolai pours himself another drink of the dragon
ale.
Fire ale.
Yes. I think you have a week and a half of that stuff left. But Vol gets into the seats, and she does state, well, I did manage to get in contact with the bird. Messenger. It was a bird, but it's currently waiting outside with the rest of the horses. Oops.
Well, good to hear. Glad that you're doing fairly good. I mean, Vol, you seem like you're very well manageable. I mean, it seems like you've done a lot so far.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But according to the missive, we are welcomed in the kingdom, and once we arrive, we can seek an audience with the king themselves, if we need to. But they did requisition payment for Miss Ada and Sir Finney. She then puts out 2 small bags, and hands one over to Finney and one over to Ada. Both of those bags do contain the remaining portion of your down payment. So Finney, that's 50 for you, and Ada, because you didn't get it beforehand, you received a total 100 gold.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
Hail to the king.
Yeah.
Don't you mean money?
Yes.
Okay, I was just double checking.
Vol politely laughs and simply states, now then, it does seem that you 2 are more than welcome to assist us in the endeavors that we're striving for, but we do need to look into the blackouts of the cities themselves. That, first and foremost, is a problem at hand. We have been assigned a messenger bird to communicate with the kingdom itself on and off, so if we do need to send a message back, we will have the carrying falcon with us. That is also a way of getting messages back and forth, as well as receiving payment, if applicable.
Personalized falcon? Just for us?
Yes.
Well,
Not bad. Okay,
Yeah.
so we might not be leaving tomorrow. We got to figure out then why there was no communication. As far as we know, it was more of the mayor was lost and there was just no need for communication because of who had controlled the city. But there may be a possibility that there could be another reason why. Wouldn't you say so, Vol?
I would say so. From what I can tell, the kingdom itself uses a magical device, but I'm afraid I'm not familiar with it. Only the rulers of each city, as well as the king themselves, would know the machinations. Perhaps speaking with someone, well, they would have to get a new mayor soon enough, or else they'd be continuously in the dark for a while. So if we speak with a new leader, they might be able to help us with this.
They won't have a new mayor for another week. We talked to Horace, and he said it wouldn't be for another week that they would have a new mayor. And Horace is temporary leader of the city, but more of defuncto. He's the last one remaining, really.
Does she mean de facto?
Yeah, de facto.
Ah, yes.
That would make sense. Finny, as you approach the bar, what do you ask for?
What you doing?
Okay. Delilah then basically states to the group, right, are you gonna eat something, order something?
Yeah, I'll have a drink.
Right. It costs 1 copper, so you can basically just ignore it. She puts it down, and it's a nice cup of mead. Something strong, definitely palpable, but something, if you didn't have the stomach for it, would immediately get you buzzed.
It feels great.
Really only dwarves drink it, but, I thought you could handle it.
I just have one question for you. Who is the front runner to win this new mayor position?
More than likely the people that are currently helping out the cities and citizens the most. My money's on Horace, potentially one of your assistants, maybe the Grok fellow, or Mercy might be able to be someone at the top. There are a few people that I don't know if you've met, but they might be able to be mayor. One of them is Sir Daniel, a former noble of the Kingdom of Stone, but that's a kingdom outside of our own, so I don't know how well he'd work out. There's also Lily, who is a traveling swordswoman who's been here for a couple of years now, and everyone seems fine with her. Other than that, Horace will likely be the best and most dominant person. Either that or myself, but I'd rather not deal with people if I don't have to.
Well, you're in the wrong job for that.
Family business. Technically here until my sister can get back into town. Technically don't have a license.
Well, thank you for the information.
Yeah. Whatever. Now it kind of makes sense why Delilah doesn't like people. She kind of had to. Because her sister's technically the one that owns and operates the business itself. But since people haven't been allowed back into town, well, someone needs to run the bar.
She's in a rough spot.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Well, I have to go meet with someone. I was meeting with Horace today. I don't know if there was another bar, but I think he might come here or he might go to another one. I think there might be another bar in town.
There are about
I'm not
two.
sure.
Delilah does state, like in-game wise, I think there's 2, but the other 2 are likely not operating as they're also under the restrictions that the current mayor has placed on everyone.
Where did I didn't really state exactly where to meet him, so I'm not really
you
sure.
Didn't. You said like maybe at a bar, and Horace would know you guys are here, so he'd probably come here. If you want to
Okay,
go to the other bars, that's fine. But honestly, it would track that he'd come here.
I'll just like go grab a private room and then kind of wait over there.
Yeah.
Probably I'll go over here because I haven't been over here before.
Yeah. Eventually, after some drinks and food, Horace does arrive towards the bar section. Greets Delilah, greets you all, and then simply states, I guess towards Finny since he's the closest. Pardon, do you know where Nikolai is?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
He went that way, and I'll point to the direction that he went to into the private room.
Oh, thank you. Goes. Oops, that's Finny. Goes up and comes over here. Eventually, does see Nikolai. Yes. You wanted to discuss something.
Yes. I didn't know this would be the only more open bar in the town, but I guess it will do. I know my companions are here and they're out of earshot, but it seems. You said that you had an ability to understand curses.
Understand them, and potentially, as long as they're minor enough, remove them.
Well, mine is probably. I don't know if you've ever seen something like this, and I would say it's probably the opposite of minor. So, as Nikolai, I know he's like a cleric, so he's probably done a lot more like hands-on like lobotomy and like health and treatment of like people, so he probably knows how to like look at people. Nikolai will show him the weird blue scar / glowing rune thing on his neck, and then describe that he got it from talking to a demon.
Examining it, getting close up to actually commune and imbibe, basically registering and reading it, celestial energy into the magical portion of the runic scribe itself. More or less reading the curse and seeing what it affiliates with itself with. He does finish reading it, and he does state, well, I'm afraid I cannot do anything about this, but I can tell you what more or less it is. Although I'm afraid if you've dealt with something of this high nature, you're more than likely aware of what it already is.
Yes. Well, I think if anybody, I mean, you might know something, and I also have found, if you might know of anyone that might know of something that might be in quota, and I have the ability. I'm not a person. I'm not a human, as you've probably guessed because you've read the inscription. I have the ability to morph, and so at the moment I'll morph into him, showing him that I have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will pull out the bottle of the elven anti-cure and anti-curse bottle from way back when. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And then I will take a swig of that. And then now there will be only one charge left of that, and then have him take what he learned from what he did after me doing that, and then see if he knows more about what this bottle is and whom I find in quota.
Mm-hmm. After taking a swig and then observing it, the magic through the funneling system that he's doing beforehand, he connects with it, communes, and then simply states to you, from what I can tell, this is Eladrin magic, not Elven magic. So, if I had to guess, High Elf or someone from the Feywild itself, someone that is able to manipulate magic in a way that normal individuals such as myself cannot do. Based off of this, it does have some sort of, I wouldn't say clergy magic, but potentially something of a faith or something stronger. Potentially leaning towards an elven lord, fey lord, potentially some deity or god that they commune with. But the magic itself is derivative of a high elf or an Eladrin. My best guess, it's some type of blessing that the folks in quota might do, if this is from quota. I would look into potentially individuals at the top of the clergy system, or potentially those of a high noble family, as they are likely the ones that produce the alcohol.
Well, if they produce it in alcohol form or in a beverage that can sway off a curse or at least nullify it, do you think that they have a possibility of either finding the source of the curse or doing something to I guess change the curse in some way?
In some way, yes. From what I can tell, it is causing the curse would be a minor way of putting it, but the curse in you, it's causing it to miswork and misread as if chaotic magic is being imbued into it, but in a way that is also stabilized and controlled. It is something I have personally never seen other than wild magic sorcerers using, or someone akin or connected to the Feywild.
I see. Well, I guess let me know who you can find and who I can speak to that could help me.
I'm afraid I do not know politics in Quota. I do know the High Mage, but I believe Quota is one of the destinations you're heading towards, correct?
That is correct.
I'm not sure if they're still there, but if it's the same person that I have spoken with beforehand at our meetings from time to time, they are known as Lightbringer Mar, a high elf of high repute and quite stronger than me.
Ah, well, I mean that's very helpful. I mean it's the best knowledge that I've had, and I yes, it's just when you get tricked and by a demon into signing a contract and basically serve what you need for them, and you don't feel like your life is your own. So
I can understand that. Giving your life as service is one thing, but being tricked into it is another. Perhaps finding someone else in the same or close enough predicament as yours might be able to shed more light on your circumstance, but I'm afraid I cannot help you in this regard. I am sorry for that.
Well, I appreciate you for the limited knowledge that you had. So
Of course.
I think that. Did you need a drink before you leave?
I would, but unfortunately, I do need to get back to cleansing the bodies of the ill.
Ah, well, good luck. And if just let us know if you need any help or aid of some sorts.
Any aid is more than generous. You've already done enough, but I wouldn't say no to more hands. But if you are busy, I understand. At the very least, let me pay for your lunch. It's the least I can do. He puts down like 5 silver, nods to you, and then heads out.
Cool. I'll just I'll wait here until he leaves and then join up with everybody.
Mm-hmm. He waves towards the rest of the group.
Before he leaves, I would just kind of get up and walk to him. Hey, Horace, would you happen to know of any device or whatnot that is used to communicate outside of the city?
I know the mayor usually has something of that nature. It's how we report back to the kingdom's capital itself from time to time. I'm not sure if I have clearance for it, but I could look into it.
Yeah, that's kind of one reason why we're here. Is the city went dark. We were asked to come and, if possible, bring back communication within the city to outside.
I'll take a look for it, and if I find anything by tomorrow, I'll let you know.
Very well, thank you.
Again, I am only temporary mayor at the moment, so I do not know if the temporary status is enough for everything.
It's what you can do, and that's all we can ask for.
Of course. And he heads out. In the meantime, Finny, you are standing next to Vol for some reason. Any particular reason why?
I say to Vol, as a soldier in the military, I get very weirded out when people go to private rooms and have conversations. Is there something that I'm missing out here?
I think it's private.
Yeah, I know, but what should it be private about? We're out here risking our lives.
Well, it could be something medical. It could be something historical. It could be a lot of things, really. It doesn't necessarily have to involve us.
Definitely medical. It's definitely medical.
Oh. Well, then in that case, it would be private, confidential information.
I just get very nervous when it happens.
I mean, it does happen.
Hey, out of game, Finny, if you want to roll insight, when I said it's definitely medical, you probably should do that.
Only if you like to.
I bet you would.
Okay.
More or less, you can tell that Nikolai is kind of telling the truth, kind of is not. At least not the full truth. You can tell that it's something having to do with him, but you're not actually sure what exactly him. It could be something medical, but you're fairly sure that it's not completely that. But it's only like a guess onto what it could be.
Not a problem. I just get nervous sometimes. I've been through a lot.
I mean, it's understandable. Ada, is there anything you're doing in the meantime?
I'm sorry, we're out of game. Were we talking about me? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, I zoned out for a second. I heard Ada, and I didn't know what was going on for a moment. Probably Ada wasn't paying attention to anything. It's probably just using her fingers and like drawing, like moving her finger around the table, and just making drawings that are probably not going to appear on the table.
Yeah, fair enough. You can tell that the weird information about maybe somehow the mayor is able to communicate with the kingdom capital, but not currently. It's a little weird. Something about some medical thing Nikolai might have. That's also kind of weird. But personal, private things. You can understand that. Overall, you just zone into your own artwork, your own drawings, and over the course of time,
it's hereditary. It's kind of a thing that like my generation, like it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. But over the course of the time, you do eventually all finish your meals, finish your drinks. Unless you decide to do something else today, it will basically flip over till tomorrow. So any last objectives to complete?
I think it's been a productive, chaotic, and frankly, a little disturbing day. I think I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah.
Dust would patiently wait for Serrano.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a number of questions that he wants to ask him.
Yes. You mentioned in the night you would speak with him before tomorrow, which is why I asked. Okay.
Yeah. So nothing else. Dust would just be patiently waiting.
Mm-hmm. Ada, what about you?
Ada probably doesn't have much to do. She doesn't have much on her mind, so she's also gonna go to bed, get some rest.
And Finny?
Your thing's glitching.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
There you go.
I said I don't want to be left alone, so I'll go to bed with you guys.
All right. Basically, Nikolai heads out first, and Ada. Then Finny, Vol, around the same time. I think one of you paid for like separate rooms. So people spread off however they will, but eventually the only one left is Dust. I don't know where Nikolai went. Oh, he found a corner.
Yeah, I just went off in a corner. I didn't know. There's not really a room scenario. There's just like a bar.
Yeah, unfortunately, it did. Ironically enough, I forgot to make rooms for this map. But eventually, you guys do find your rooms, although not currently visible. Serrano eventually, roughly around 11 p.m. at night, does manage to catch Dust Dust at the bar. Oh! Surprised this place is still open! Delilah state. Well, the restrictions no longer apply today now, do they? I suppose they don't. So, Dust, what can I do you for?
So, I'm on this mission for not only my master, Hilda, but just to kind of aid the various admirals that I need to. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I'd like to ask you is, with this done, is there, if you have any other tasks for me to do at this point, please guide me on what to do next, or even who I'm meant to meet next on this task that I have. My master sent me on this so that these errands so that I can prove myself for a choice that I made that gave me a great deal of power, but also incredibly foolish.
Proving right ritual. That must be it, I believe. Don't know. Him has always been an oddity in the Admirals, but who's to say? Just look at me. That being the case, though, I don't really have anything else unless you're a medical expert.
That I am not. I can get by just barely, but I'm no expert.
Well, then that's a shame. No, don't really have much use for you now. You did manage to save the city, which I'm grateful for, but didn't really have anything to begin with. Overall, I was just a traveling performer, allowing my children to run my shop in quota for the longest time now. They're probably upset. If you could help them, that'd be useful. Let them know that dear old dad's still kicking around.
Well, we are indeed heading to quota. It's one of the cities that have gone dark, just like this city.
Oh. Well, they should be fine. They're only merchants. Should be.
Let's hope.
I suppose the one thing you can do is see if they're okay. I mean, I am a terrible father. I won't not admit that. But I still love my kids.
That I will do.
I would appreciate it. Again, not a fighter. If I went there, I'd probably die. Don't know yet. Probably. But if you do manage to get there, I'm sure some of the admirals might have a letter or two sent to me. You could probably retrieve them if you are able to find my kids. That'll probably get you the best lead. Because the only admiral I kind of do know right now, or at least their current location, would be... I suppose General Strongarm. Who's an admiral that you have not met yet.
I have not met him yet. I have only met my master, who told me about the admirals. The Admiral Decay, Admiral Breaker, and yourself.
Well, you do seem capable. If you do manage to go and find Strongarm, I'm sure they're more than willing to... to assist him in his endeavors. Give or take. It all really depends if you're willing to go.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for any leads along this line.
Well...
Where might I go to find him?
The last city I was in before finding myself here was Strongarm's. City was Dawn. City to the west from here. a couple weeks from here, just 3-ish so. It's around the border of our kingdom and the kingdom of Frost. Oh, sorry, the kingdom of Aqua. Again, 3 weeks out, but not terribly far away. If you have horses, you can make it there in about 2 weeks. If you're really gung-ho, maybe a week and a half.
Well, that is good to know that I know where Strong Arm is, and eventually I will have to go to Dawn, the city of Dawn, but right now we'll be heading to Quota, and we'll see where we go from there. That's about as far as we've planned.
Right. I would let you know that Strong Arm is a general of the unconventional sort. Not of the kingdom.
Okay. Well, in my experience, each one of you, members of that, each one of you admirals is very, very different
Yes.
from each other.
I cannot give you direct line of sight, I suppose is a way of saying it. But I can lead you into the right course. If you go and look for Strong Arm, look between the lines and in shadows, within the walls and in the whispers. There you'll find the glimmer in the eye and the gold-toothed maw of the storm. I don't know what that means. Just tell me if people look for him that way, they find him.
Thank you. Above game, could you tell me that again?
Yeah. Look for them in the shadows and in between the lines. There you will find the golden tooth maw and the gleaming eyes of... you know what? I'm going to say it differently this time. Basically, the way I phrased it, but it's clearly easier this way. Should have done it this way next time. Look for me within the lines and in the shadows. Within the gleaming eyes and the golden tooth maw, there you will find me. I cleaned up the wording so it wouldn't confuse you completely.
I'm pretty good about solving riddles. It's just getting everything down in notes, and so. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
Of course.
Okay.
I suppose. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean.
thank you. Well, I'm slowly learning various tricks of the trade when it comes to you admirals. You each have your own way of hiding and allowing people to find you who are meant to find you.
I suppose that does
I've
make
learned-
sense.
Yeah. Another thing that I've been looking for in my travels is I am a member of the Ethereal Peaks clan from
Ah,
the
I
border
see.
of Dust and Mist. I believe it was Mist.
Dust, Mist, and Isle.
Yeah, like I was the clan was situated in somewhere around those borders.
Mhm.
And my clan has been scattered for a number of years. And when I left, one thing that my parents tasked me with was not only to do this task that my master sent me on, but to find members of my clan, and if possible, my sister, who was taken in the raids that happened. All I can remember is of the genies, the elementals, the genasi striking raid. I was quite young then. But I was wondering if you perchance had any other information. I know you admirals have a great deal of knowledge.
We do. I'm afraid finding others is not my forte. There are others in the admirals that you might be able to speak with, but I'm afraid I do not know where they currently are. If you're not looking for an admiral, but simply someone that can find someone for you, look for a diviner, someone that is close to life or light. If you are heading to Quota, there is a cleric there named Ma. There was one when I left. Don't know now. I suppose. If you do find them, and if they are there, pay them a nice dividend into the church, and they'll be able to assist you if you have a strand of hair, a name, preferably something of theirs, like a strand of hair, a name, a doll, piece of clothes, potentially a shared memory, and they might be able to assist you if they're still alive or within this domain.
At this point, I'm not necessarily trying to look for someone who can help me find her, but more of information about what happened, what caused my clan to be scattered.
Then I would
if anything.
Then I would go with an information broker. Let's see. I highly doubt there's one here anymore. There is one in Ma. Sorry. There is one in Quota. I suppose you can look into. There's a guild there. Where they hire adventurers and the sort. You might be able to find an information broker there. If not there, you might be able to look into the studio parts. There is an underground market where people do sell more or less unconventional things. Not people. I should mention that. But, other things.
Yes. Well, this is one thing that I can do.
I'm afraid that's all I have.
That I can.
If you're willing to learn alchemy, I can help you out with that, but that takes time.
I'm a fine jeweler. I learned my master's trade well. And my days are maybe numbered with how things are going. Thank you.
With how things are going, ours as well. So, do what you can. We'll do what we can in turn. Looks towards Delilah. Do you mind keeping this to yourself? Delilah then states, I wasn't listening. Good. Then looks towards you, Dust. Now, anything else?
No, that would be it. And depending on whether or not Horace can get to the device that allows the city to communicate with the capital, we may be gone tomorrow, or it might take a couple of days until we leave, but let me know if you need any help while I'm here.
Of course. Again, any more hands at the clinic would be useful, but if you need to go, we can just do it without you. Just slower. All right, you take care.
And with that, I will actually go up to bed.
You eventually, tomorrow, realize that he did order a few things, and it is charged to your room. Thankfully enough, though, nothing too expensive. And don't worry about the actual payment. That was just a joke. That being said, though, your team does eventually figure out that more or less things are covered without you. If you do need to head out tomorrow, you can more than enough do that. If you decide to help, you can do that and maybe find out who the next mayor is. But tomorrow in the morning, after discussing a few things and figuring out whether or not to stay, Horace does come back before the clinic actually, opens. And before the bar actually opens as well.
Hey, Delilah, do you have food for breakfast that you make? Delilah?
Yes. The bar isn't open yet.
Well, there's food, right?
I suppose.
Like eggs or like some like griffin bacon or something, or I don't know. What do you make?
We don't have griffins over here.
What kind of meat do you serve?
In the kitchen, she just shouts out, "Pork!"
Anything else?
Beef?
It seems so. I mean, there. How many different animals? There's owlbears, and then there's I don't know, like giant boars, and then like big game animals, and you just choose there's just cows and pigs. You don't have anything more exotic?
Nikolai, some of those beasts are very dangerous to be around.
Well, I mean, I know, but I know that there's hunters that they catch those animals and then they sell their food, their meat for money, and then they ship them around, right?
You're awfully picky.
Well, I haven't had a more satisfying meal in ages. It's been a while since I've had a more contemporary meal, honestly.
Yeah. Delilah does put the food all around you guys while Nikolai is discussing the premises of better or more exotic food, and then eventually Delilah comes back and does state, yeah, those things were even the first ones to go. Domestic animals are a lot easier to roam, and, since we're kind of stuck here, kind of need to ration things out easier.
Yeah.
Come back 2 weeks ago and we would have it.
Well, I thought I'd ask. And I mean, it's better to ask than not ask.
I suppose.
Tell you what, Nikolai. If in our travels we do hunt down an owlbear or a griffin, I'll cook it for you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just
some worm meat that we could cook up once we're back on the road.
Right. The hunters aren't out yet, so within a couple of days, if you want to wait, I'm sure they can round up some sort of dire boar, maybe.
You just what?
You're not sure if she's messing with you.
Nikolai just kind of rolls his eyes and then just gets up from the table and sits over here.
Mm-hmm. She already had your plates all good and ready, and your drinks as well. Horace does come in and then kind of sits at the bar, more or less. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. But I digress.
A discussion about breakfast.
Oh, I suppose. Good to eat, especially in the morning. But I'll let you to it. But while we'll be discussing things, if that's all right. While I looked into it, I am not allowed access into the office just yet. If I do manage to win the mayoral seat, which I am not planning to run for, I could look into it or ask the next mayor. I can tell you it's in their office in a... I'm not entirely sure, but each mayor gets the emblem or crest imbued or embarked into them. Embalmed, I'm not entirely sure. The assistant mayor, not an assistant, pardon. Grok, not Grok. Man, what was his assistant's name? I forgot it.
It is Grok, but I think you had maybe messed up.
I think I did mess up, yeah.
But we know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's two Groks now. So you have the assistant Grok and you have our Grok.
Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Grok did mention that the mayor is somehow ordained with the title and is granted access to few things that most people aren't not told about. From what I can tell, they use some sort of contraption or device to commune with the capital itself, but only the mayor or the leader of the town is able to communicate and operate it. At least in this city. I don't know about any other. So if I had to guess, no mayor, no contact. Which would make sense, I suppose.
So, although we might be experiencing in each one of these cities, it'll be pretty much be essentially the leader of the city may have been taken out by one means or another,
At the very
to where
least,
they cannot communicate. So
that's more than likely true. Or at the very least,
Yeah.
I highly doubt each person that is given the communication device is each leader, but potentially a leader of the city. In this one, it would be the mayor, perhaps another city. It's royalty, maybe, or maybe it's clergy. Someone definitely that the kingdom can trust, at the very least.
I think really at this point, Vol, it is up to your decision, because we won't be able to. The city won't be back up online with communication to the capital until they get a new mayor. Would you like us to stick around until that happens? That way we can verify that, or do you think we should just leave?
But I mean,
And ask Horace to whoever becomes the new mayor to very quickly contact the capital.
well, I mean, I don't know if I would leave it up to Dust, but I mean, we could get everybody else's opinion also. I mean, Dusk, I guess she is the de facto royalty in the room, so I guess we could have Dust decide. But I mean, my vote is to go to Quota, but I'm just gonna say that out there. So yeah.
Vol does state, Nikolai does bring up a good point. I am not technically the leader, but a group member. That being said, though, I would like to help the people here. That also being said, we did manage to help them substantially, which means that they can get back on their feet on their own. Not that I do not want to help, but if something is happening in Koda as well, I would like to assist their people in turn. So my vote is to go to Quota, but at the very least, if we do not, I wouldn't mind helping out the people here. It's the very least we can do. Horace does state, I would welcome hands. That being said, though, your two allies would be assisting me. Once the mayoral system or whoever is mayor is in charge, I would speak with them immediately and making sure that your teammates, or at least one of them or two of them, depending on who decides to go into Quota, would meet you there and establish a communication contact. Some way of telling you that we found a mayor and are in current communication with the kingdom's capital. If you have any other way of communicating, that would be appreciated, but I'm not sure if you do.
Let's say that oh, sorry, Kyle. Yes. Damn it. Dust. Sorry.
Right now, I'm not aware. I don't have any way of communicating outside. We have a communication ourselves with the capital as well, but it would probably take about a week for everybody to be taken care of, wouldn't you say?
Give or take, yes.
Yeah, so about the time that you would get your new mayor is when our companion that we would be leaving our companions who we are leaving behind would be leaving. So
Potentially.
I personally think that would be fine. Because I am also all for going to quota.
Well, I mean, Finney, if we go to quota, we can talk to the king, and then we're on the way, and then he might have more opportunities to get money.
I've been ready to go. I'm ready to go right now.
Horse does
It's always about the money for you people.
Yeah. Ada didn't bring it
No.
You just said it, Nikolai. You just said it.
No.
What about you, Finney and Ada? Would you be joining us?
I would go to help people, not for the money.
Well, Ada, I was enticing him with the money. I wasn't talking about me wanting the money, but it was the mind game of telling him that the opportunity of money is somewhere to sway his decision.
He already said he wanted to go earlier.
Well, I mean, I was just making it that much more sweeter.
Idiot size. She's not going to deal with this.
Yeah.
I am ready to go.
Horse does bring out a map and shows you guys once again. Right then, if you do plan to get into quota, it would be a 2-week travel trek there. Other than that, it should be fine as long as no one else is in the area itself. There is a bridge city to quota, so if you do manage to get to it, you can restock up on supplies if need be. But you should be more than covered, I believe. That being said, though, there is an observatory along the way. If you do manage to get there, then you could perhaps visit it if you intend to do so. Don't know why I brought that up. Maybe that's an out-of-game thing. It's an out-of-game thing. Just in case you guys forgot.
Yeah, we had discussed.
Where is Horace? Where is the kingdom located? Where the king is located? Ill? Is that the town?
ILL. Isle. Yes.
Isle. Ill, not ill. It's Isle.
They look the same. Anyways, pointing towards Isle does state this, and Horus does state, Isle itself is the kingdom's capital as well as the namesake of the kingdom itself. That being said, though, it is a week's direction away from quota, so you will be adding a week to your travel. That being said, though, it's not completely out of the way, thankfully enough. If you do decide to go to the observatory, you'll just be leaning a very hard right, but not so hard that you can't make up time going to quota, so long as there's no trouble ahead. So long.
Let us go to the observatory. There might be something there that we can gather.
Yes. Let's make haste and travel. I think that would be good. I will have one more drink. I can't see her name.
Delilah?
Delilah, do you have one more drink that I could have before we set out on our journey?
Bar's not open yet, and don't you have a vial already?
Yeah. Well, you know, it sometimes after having something the same type of drink for so many times, it does get rather bland. You have to switch it up.
Wait a couple hours.
I mean, do you have any like lemon juice or like maybe some like I don't know, like some bitters or anything that I could buy?
She sighs, comes over, and then just gets you guys like a plate of lemons, limes, some radishes here and there. Like, definitely things you can put in drinks, but not a drink itself, per se. Yeah, you can just have those.
LP number. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh.
Horace does state, well, I'm afraid it's a little early for me to be drinking, but I'll leave you to it. If you decide to help out the city, you're more than welcome here. You've done more than enough. As soon as the mayor is collected, it could take less than a week, but more worst case scenario, it will take a week, as we'll more than likely be focusing on healing everyone and looking for any others that have slipped through the ranks.
As Horace is, oh, sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
As Horace is talking, I take a lime and then I take out a dagger and then cut it in half and then pour myself a glass of the dragon ale and then I squeeze both of the limes into it and then drink it.
Horace noting that it's a little early for drinking, at least for him. He then goes, right then, I'll let you have your fun. Thanks again for helping out. It really does mean a lot. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to go work at the clinic. And, well, sober mind, steady hands. Do take care.
You as well.
And he heads off.
Well, a drink to start the day is one that we all need, and we can get on our way. Is everybody ready? Are we headed off?
Yep, we're ready.
I think so.
I should have said that. Oh, that doesn't rhyme. A drink to start the day, and we'll be on our way. Oh, that's great.
Oh, that would have. Oh.
All right. Eventually, you do make some sort of great quip. It's incredible. Everyone understands it. You're not drunk, because you're not. And you all eventually find yourselves back to where this all started, technically.
Whoa! It's like a flashback.
Out of game. It's been a while since I've seen this.
It's been a while, yeah. So heading back to the gate and where everyone else is. For some reason, it didn't move me there, but give me 1 second.
I just noticed my picture changed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Deleting these and paste.
There we go.
So, eventually coming back to the area that you found yourselves prior. As soon as my system loads, there we go. Oh, oops. Carl's no longer unconscious. Carl's just Carl. You can tell that the gate system is open again. So, thankfully, people that aren't supposed to be here, as well as other travelers, merchants, are coming back to shop. You do see a group of hunters going out to maybe hunt some boar, dire boar, you think, maybe. And the rest. You're still not sure if she was lying to you.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, our wonderful companion, Vera, have you been here the whole time?
Yes, for about a week, half a week.
What did you eat?
Berries, fruit, game I can hunt.
Oh, okay. Well, it's resourceful, yes.
I am a ranger.
I see.
The reason why you hired me?
Disregard everything I said. We're off to go to Isle to meet the kingdom there.
No, weren't we going to head to Quota?
I thought we were heading to Isle first and then to Quota.
Valda State, weren't we going to the observatory first?
Oh,
the observatory. Let's head there.
Yes.
It seems that I haven't missed anything. You are all still directionally challenged. Will these two be joining us, and are they as much of a headache as the rest of you? Looks towards Ada. Please tell me you're not.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Seriously, giving me a headache. Ada She points at Nikolai.
What did I do? What did I do?
You just give me a hard time.
Pantomiming Nikolai headache. She nods in agreement, and then states, "All right then, I'll lead the way. Let's see here."
No, I mean I have some limes. Those go good.
You brought the tray.
Why not?
Did you steal a tray of limes?
I mean, she did technically say you could have it, but I'm just gonna say you took the stuff on it, put it in a bag, and left the tray there.
Yeah.
Okay. You have fixings for mixed drinks, I suppose.
Okay.
Lemons, lime, salt, and whatnot. I suppose, like, drink rations 3. I guess. But eventually, Vera does begin to make the trek with you guys. Eventually, you remember that Vera's not a people person. So, as long as you don't speak with her, she doesn't speak with you. But that's perfectly alright, because she's sometimes mean to people. Horses, animals, the forest, trees, plants. Perfectly fine with them.
But the only one she was kind to was Starleaf.
I mean, she seemed like a nice person. And I mean, I tried to be nice to her and give her a tree. And then she still didn't really do anything, to be grateful. She just said thank you. It's like, I mean, I felt like I did a lot. Like, I did a lot to, be friendly to her. But it just doesn't feel like it's, the reciprocated. It's not there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, people's ideologies don't change after one gift. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe he roll good enough persuasion. After a couple of days, not too far into the trip, but definitely far enough that you can make it to the bridge city just fine, you can tell that, well, one half of the bridge is definitely a lot better than the other. Well, temperature-wise, as you're currently in the spot that you're at, the bridge city itself is nice, pleasant. Some of the area is broken off due to potential erosion and the like. But the other side of the quite literal bridge city is a forest in snow, which is a little odd. Entering inside, Vera does state, "That's not right. We are heading closer to frost, but not so close that it'd be snowing. It's not seasonal yet. Do you guys want to ask questions? I'd rather not speak with people if I don't have to."
I mean, it's up to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off and then the wagon and come in and be like
8m cubed minus 7m plus 5 from
what the
Dad, you're unmuted.
minus 5.
Aha.
Well,
I'm
entering
gonna
inside.
stay in the cart. Dust, you can do as you wish. Sounds like a plan. I'll just practice some of my my icy tricks. Yes. Spells.
And I'm gonna hop out. I'll do after dust. I just want to see, to speak to one of the people out here to see if there's any soldiers or anything.
Looking at the area, you can tell that there are some guards here and there, but no really soldiers. The city itself is small enough that you could do commerce here and there, but not so large that there would be a governing branch of security here. Just some guards here and there, nothing major. But you do find some, not soldier types, at the very least. Definitely people that are here to protect the city and the like, but not soldiers. So they're more like guards that were hired by the city rather than guards that protect the kingdom.
I'll essentially, I think I'll go up to this couple here, and I will ask them. It looks like there's a bunch of snow up ahead. Is that typical for this time of year?
Looking towards you, the male individual in that couple does look and state, not seasonal. Well, not this season, I'm afraid. No, you must be new here. Welcome. It's been like this for a couple of weeks now. We're not entirely sure what that is. Uh, at first, it was slow. As sometimes it does snow here and there, but it usually goes away. It's been like this for a couple of weeks now. The woman in the couple then states, if I had to guess, maybe some wizard is doing some experiments. Not entirely sure. I'm afraid I don't really know magic or the weather that often. I know there's an observatory like a day from here, though. Maybe you can ask them. The man does state. Other than that, the wilderness and the animals have been acting up here and there. So if you do enter inside, I would be caution. I would mind caution. Some of the hunters that we do send out from time to time do come back injured. Some of the animals do seem to be spooked here and there.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Have a pleasant day.
Yeah, it's you two.
They both nod. Finny, you do find this guard. There are other guards, but this is the closest one to you. The guard salutes, simple enough, and then states, "How can I help you, sir?" If you're speaking, you're muted.
I want to see if he can recognize anything on my uniform.
Looking you up and down, he is, again, a guard hired by the city, not an actual guard hired by the nation. So, looking you up and down, he does recognize a few things here and there, but it's like, hey, I'm a security guard. I might be able to tell that you have rank, but I don't know what branch of the government you're in.
That's great. I just want to say hello and see if you can tell me some more stuff about what you guys are doing here.
Oh, we're a port city here and there. Well, port is a loose interpretation of what we are. We're a city that is basically built over a bridge. We do business Quota, we do business with Aquis, the kingdom to the west, and we do business with Frost, the kingdom to the north. However, that has been halted by the strange weather patterns as of recent. Overall, we're just a branching city that has been built due to the commerce that is done here. Merchants from each section of the kingdom, including further down to the south, would basically meet here. Do business, conduct business, stay here for the night, maybe a respite, and then head back to their locations or the locations they intend to go. The river here does make way towards the capital, and as well towards, I suppose, Dawn or Aquis. I believe Dawn's the next connecting city.
I noticed that you're protecting something. Is there something you need help with around here?
There have been some wild game here and there that, due to the weird weather patterns, have come into town as of late. Although we're not entirely sure when that'll happen, so I do appreciate the help you would assist with, but I'm afraid I cannot necessarily hire you since I do not know when I would need to.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Just above game. So, if I get this correctly, we can get to Dawn through the ports here, correct?
Yes. You would need to hire a charter or go with one that's going there already. But yes, you can.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Basically, this port, air quote, city, is a river system that goes towards the capital of Isle, as well as Dawn and Aquis. So it's a good connecting port city, air quotes. It's also the direction that you head towards when you're going to Frost, the kingdom itself, which is also where the kingdom's merchants come into, because you can go to the capital from this port, air quote, city. So it's a good place to stay here and there. It's basically a city that needs to exist because of how much traffic there is.
I'm gonna step out and stretch my legs. Well, Dust, what kind of interesting facts did you find out so far?
Well, it seems that beyond the terrified creatures up in the mountain, the sporadic snows. It's just oddity, really. Something that we may want to find. There may be connections with the wizard, and there might be some clues up at the observatory of what's going on, but for the most part, it's fairly safe here within the city, within the town.
Ah. Do you think that since this is a port city, and people often travel, and there's a big travel, people converge in this location, there might be goods that we could acquire here?
Yeah, we do need to stock up on our supplies. We're starting to run low. So I think
Go ahead.
So we will go around and kind of stock up on our supplies.
As you begin to ask questions here or there, you figure out who you can shop with, who you can connect with. The port city itself is a good place to find some stuff that you wouldn't normally find, but as you're doing so, you do find and hear scuttling noises around the shoreline. You can tell in the southern section of the city, some giant crab-like creatures have fished themselves out of the waterworks. The guard there looks towards Finney and does state, would your team like to assist in this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me ask him.
All right. I wouldn't mind telling you that they are very unsusceptible to bludgeoning attacks, so do be careful with that.
Hey guys, we want to help these folks over here?
Sure, why not? It's crab, right? Giant crabs, essentially.
Giant cave fisher crabs. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that might taste pretty good.
They would taste pretty good, yes. That being said, though, if you do decide to take this job, the guard does state and tell you that for each crab you defeat is 5. If you manage to scuttle them off, it would simply pay no money other than maybe a drink on the house.
Okay, let's do this.
We're fighting them? Is that how this is going?
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone go ahead and roll turn order. Remember, it's been a while since we've played, so you click on your token and roll initiative.
Wow, it's been
Right-click on your token. Right-click on your token and then roll.
Yes. Right, that's group 1.
What if Nikolai avoids fighting?
You can. It just means you specifically won't be paid.
I mean,
well, maybe. You really don't know.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it felt like we just like, oh, there's giant crabs. Okay.
It is.
I mean, I might as well.
I'm stocking up on this meat.
Yeah. This was gonna happen anyways. It just depends on what I rolled. I rolled an 11, so I got crabs. So,
Wait. Well, what? There was how many different encounters did you have?
I have one that's a polar bear. I have one that's an ice dragon. I have one that is spear fisherman, and I have one where ghosts for some reason.
Oh my god! We got crabs.
Well,
we got crabs.
To be honest, it's better than an ice dragon.
And you had polar bears and an ice dragon as 2 encounters.
Crabs were 10 through 14.
I had a bad experience with dragons in D&D.
I mean, wait, is an ice dragon resistant against ice damage?
Usually.
Oh, that would have been painful. Oh man, I'm glad we didn't.
Do you want us to be down there on the ground and not in the city for combat to start? Agma, or do you want us to be within the city?
You can be outside of the city if you'd like.
I mean, I'm standing right here, so.
Like the crabs themselves basically like rush up on shore and like scuttle around to see what's currently around them. So you have time to scoot to the sides.
Nikolai is going to clamber and get a good perch on top of this building.
All right. Positioned where you're at, and you're all good to go. Finny, you're up first.
Hey guys, do you realize we're separate?
There's two groups.
Yeah. There's other crabs over here, Finny.
Yeah, I seen them, but I'm like, should we split up like this?
I mean, if you
I think it'll be
like,
fine.
it'll be good.
Okay, I'll go first.
You see the guard come over here to assist you if you need it.
We might need you, buddy.
Sure. Rushing over to the easternmost crab, you do manage to get there without too much of an issue. And with your sickle, you go in and slice through the shell. Go ahead and roll damage. Your sickle slashes through and does a good amount of damage. You can tell that it did a good amount of damage. Definitely a common fighter or folk would be killed off by this, but these things are hardy. You did do good rolls, though.
I get to go again. I'm sorry.
Yes, you do. That being said, though, that's damage, not your attack roll.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You go again to try to see if you can strike it down this next time, but the blade itself locks onto the shell and just scrapes around it. I'm afraid it does not pierce through.
Do I want to try anything else? Nope, I can't do bludgeoning damage. No. Okay, I'm good.
All right. Nikolai.
Nikolai will just pull forth some arcanic energy and create an ice sickle and then chuck it down at this crab and throw an ice knife at him.
Nice.
Second level.
All right. As a group, right?
What?
The second one, right?
Yeah, the second one. 13.
13 does not hit, but they need to make their saves anyways.
Yes. What's this pierce? It's 11 cold damage.
See, that's 1, 2, 3.
The third one does not need to take a save. It's not in range.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just make these two ones the rolls, because technically this one would have succeeded. So they both take the cold damage. With the ice knife into the water, it does sink in, freeze, and causes them to almost go into a shock-like state. It does do a good amount of damage, but like beforehand, well, you didn't see Finny's side, it does not kill them right off. It does seem that they are able to take a blow.
Gotcha. What is the distance between the ground and, like, the shore and where I'm at right now?
You did decide to go on top of the roofs, so I'm going to say, like, 10 feet.
Okay. Okay, I'll note that. Cool, and that's my turn.
Alright. Vol, in her turn, begins to chant something, forms a shillelagh out of her staff, comes over, goes and tries to strike this thing down. It does not hit, and simply hits the side. That's it for her turn, unfortunately. Oops. Well, unfortunately, it is now their turn. So one immediately goes towards Ada, one goes towards Vol, and they technically can climb up on roofs. So I'm going to say they take their entire turn to get to Nikolai.
What? Okay.
But Vol and Ada do have a chance of getting attacked. So with pincers in their hands, technically their hands, one goes after Vol, does not hit, and one goes after Ada, with pincers in hands, are their hands once more. That one hits, and that one misses. Yes, unfortunately that 20 does hit Ada. So with a good pincer claw, it just sinks into your side and just slashes your cartilage very deeply for 7 points of damage. On the other side, the crab goes towards Finny, one goes towards Dust. Yep. And one takes their entire turn to get to the guard on top. One goes to track Finny. They do have, now that you've seen it, multi-attack. I do think that hits Finny. I could be wrong.
It does.
Okay. Then here's their second strike. That also hits, even better. Now here's Dust. No. And yes, I think.
My armor class is 14, so.
Okay. Just making sure, because the thing I see here is 14/13. So I'm going to say 14.
14.
Unfortunately, the creature hit Finny twice. So, Finny, you get hit for 1d6 plus 5 twice. So, 9, 7, 16 total. And Dust, you get hit once, so 11 total. For some reason, I rolled max with you. Dust.
Okay. Let's see here. Would it be possible? I'm wanting to cast Riptide to catch both this one and this one within a 20-foot radius. Do you think that would be possible without catching the guard?
Yeah, you would have to finagle it in a in a specific area, but yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, like, it would be like right in here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I am going to cast Riptide.
All right.
So,
what's their save again? I think it's strength.
yeah, strength saving throw DC is 16.
All right. A massive vortex of water begins to churn in the area, so much so that it begins to collapse into the creatures themselves. It begins to sink into them, and their strength score is not incredible, but not too bad. That's 1, and
dang it!
well, unfortunately, I rolled well. So they are not immediately sucked into the middle. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I can.
All right. Ada.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was going to cast Sacred Flame on the crab right next to me.
All right. Dexterity is +2. Moving around, you swing in with your Sacred Flame. It burns into the area. However, they are somehow nimble, or I'm rolling really well today. The burning marks around them begins to burn and etch in. For half damage, unfortunately, the rest of the half just burns into the air. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. And then your turn. Vera does look down, sees who's having the most trouble, or at the very least, who can be assisted. Yeah, she'll go for Vol's direction first. Tries to, with a bow and arrow, swings in, and unfortunately does miss. Finny.
Okay.
That does hit. Man, you're very, very strong. With your sickle, you slash in once again and just bury it into their side. So much so that they hit the ground motionless and are no longer moving.
Finally! I said finally. I want to try one thing. I never used this before, guys. I want to make sure I'm using it right. And it's called wholeness of body. Because I do get 2 actions, or I just get 1.
One action, 1 bonus action, and movement.
So I get 2 attacks, but only 1 action, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I only did 1 attack. I'm gonna come over here now. Can I make it there?
You should be able to, yeah.
And that's with advantage, right?
For why?
Because he's engaged with Dust.
We don't play that way.
That would be
No problem.
Yeah. I think that's considered flanking. That being the case, though, that's an optional rule. So I'm gonna say no.
Hey, it's no problem. Everybody has different rules.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go again. Not that time.
Unfortunately, it does not strike in. It hits the shell, and they're very strong. Unfortunately. Nikolai.
I think that is it for me.
Unless you want to use a bonus action. Sorry, I skipped through that.
I have a bunch of them. I'm thinking about it, but they're immune to that.
Bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, that's most of the damage I do.
Mm.
No, I'm good.
Okay, Nikolai.
Thank you.
Okay. So I will cast haste on myself,
All right.
giving myself more AC.
You gain
And
2
also-
AC. You gain an extra action. Sorry. You gain no
Yep.
extra bonus action, and your speed is better.
Doubled. And then as my other action now, I will decide to pull out the mandible that I pried off the worm from the other game and try to attempt to pierce through the carcass or the head of this crab.
Do you not have a weapon?
I do have a dagger, but I mean, a mandible though.
Yeah, that's true. You're not really trained in mandible, but I'm gonna say go ahead and use your dagger attack.
Okay.
Yeah. 18 definitely does hit. Striking in the mandible, you hit the side and then just pierce it in with the other hand that you have available, raking it through.
Oh, that'd be an action, so full action.
What do you mean?
Because I got another action.
Yes.
Okay.
Raking it through to deal some damage. I'm gonna say, since you're not really trained with it, we'll effectively use the mandible as a dagger attack.
Okay. Is it poisoned?
I don't know. Let's find out. Con save. Its con is okay, but not incredible. That's a 15. Let's see. Do you remember the save you had to do? Because I currently don't have that weapon attack.
I thought it was high. I thought it was like a 15 or something, or 15 or 16.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. If it is 15 or 16, I'm going to say 15 to make it easier in case someone attacks you with it. If it meets, it beats, I'm afraid, though.
Gotcha. Because I remember I had to roll. I don't even know, but I know I had to roll pretty high. But yeah, that's okay.
I think you rolled
So
high, but I don't know if it was meant to be pretty high. You just rolled
I don't know.
low.
I don't remember. Okay. And then I will shift to here And then I'm gonna take a bonus action and attempt to actually take a dagger attack offhand. What do I do with offhand?
You just remove your proficiency.
Okay.
All right, so that's 15 minus 2. So that'd be 14. The dagger strikes into the shell of it, but rakes around it. I'm afraid it does not pierce through.
With a 17?
Minus your proficiency, so that's 15.
I did.
You did. Then it does go through. Yes, sorry.
You're good.
I thought you rolled a 14. That was
no, I pulled it off. I took it off.
Okay, sorry. I was making it worse then.
You're good.
It rakes through and it does sink in quite well. Not enough to kill it, but enough to do damage.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. At the start of Vol's turn, the knight/guard on their side begins to try to strike this thing. Already aware of how to attack these things. Brings out their nice +1 blade. Apparently these guards are paid very well. And manage to strike in. With their attack, they sink in and do a good amount of damage. You can tell that this guard definitely does have it, but clearly wanted you guys to do the work, so he wouldn't have to. Vol on their side, though, does try to strike with their shillelagh once more. Sinking in, maybe. We'll see. Unfortunately, it does not strike in with her shillelagh, bringing out what appears to be a nice potion bottle. She does get over towards Ada's side, administers it to Ada. Ada, you regain 2d4 plus 2. You do regain 6 points of health. And that's her turn. Let's see. Crab is close enough to Nikolai that they just scutter next to this guy. And Nikolai, I'm going to roll heads or tails. Heads, tails, heads, tails. This crab does try to swing at this random random dude. +5 does hit.
I thought what the villagers would have actually ran because they were aware of this at this point, like of these crabs.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Run, villager! Don't die!
So I think he would have been gone by this point because of how close they were.
I'm telling him to run now.
Yeah, that does make sense. You know what? I'm going to give him disadvantage, but at this point, they're going to run. That does make sense. +5. No, it does not hit this time, thankfully. So, not paying attention, realizing that everyone else is already gone or inside. This random villager that decided not to stick around, or did decide to stick around, almost gets chopped in half, but thankfully enough, Nikolai uses the mandible to move the pincers away from him. Looking up, they immediately bolt inside this one house. Currently being yelled at by the owner because that is not their home. And the second strike will go towards Nikolai. Because they have multi-attack, unfortunately.
Oh!
But Dust and Nikolai do bring up a good point. They probably would have ran. So, Nikolai, you get struck. No. The mandible goes straight towards you, but... Sorry, the claws go straight towards you. But using the mandible, once again, you basically bap it away. Thankfully enough. On the other side, Vol and Ada may not be so lucky. One goes after them. Ada, you're fine. And Vol gets hit twice.
Oh my gosh.
Vol's still looking great, but she's not dead just yet. On the other side, though, thankfully enough, Finny managed to kill one of them. So, only one of them is really in danger. So, I'm going to roll heads, tails. Odds, Dust, evens, Finny. Unfortunately, it's Finny. So, the crab goes directly towards you, trying to strike at you with its meaty hands. And for some reason, I'm rolling well with these guys. So their claws go directly towards your ribcage, Finny. You pull back, but you still get struck on one side. But while you're pulling back, you don't notice the other pincer and goes into your other side for a total of 14 damage. Dust.
Okay, so in Riptide, I'm just gonna bring that up again.
Yes.
I'm going to use the Riptide effect.
All right.
So
which one?
it's going to be. I'm going to use it on the crab that's right between Finny and I. And so it will deal 3d8 bludgeoning.
All right. I think we technically do have this one also.
It takes it in one direction.
Oh, okay.
And so if they were caught up in it, then I could hit both of them. But since they were not caught up into it, I can only deal them damage directionally.
Oh, okay.
So,
this one is the Undertow or Riptide?
It's going to be Riptide. So it'll go up to 40 feet, so it'll move to be here. And then it gets dealt 19 points of damage.
All right. The Riptide
and it is prone.
Pushes it through, causing it to move around and go on its back. It hits the ground for 19 points of bludgeoning damage. Unfortunately, it is bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
So it hits the ground and basically is prone now. It doesn't seem to have taken, at best, maybe 1 point of damage. Because if something can do damage, you can at least do 1 point of damage. So it did take something, but not a lot. You can tell its legs are scurrying on top of its stomach thing area. Still alive.
Then I'm going to move here next to Finny, and then I'm going to launch my 2 Eldritch Blasts.
All right. As you're heading towards Finny, you shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts towards this creature that is now considered prone. As you're doing
it will be I'm shooting it at the one with the guard.
Oh, okay. You head over towards Finny and you shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts where the guard is. As you're looking at the guard is swinging back and forth at it. The crab does manage to swing 1 good strike and hits the guard. The guard isn't dead, but they are hurt heavily. Unfortunately, the guard is only so strong. So the crab did do a good amount of damage. So the Eldritch Blast straight towards their face, 26 and 14. The 26 does manage to strike in, hitting its side, doing 6 points of force damage. And the 14, however, just curves around its antenna. You can tell you were close. That close. Maybe a hair away, but not close enough.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Ada.
Out of game question, am I allowed to give healing spells to NPCs?
Yeah. That being said, though, the NPC's fine. Dust and Nikolai raised a good point. They're fine. They left. They went inside. Currently being berated by a housewife.
Okay.
I think she's more talking about Vol.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, am I allowed to? Yes?
Yeah, anyone you want to, including enemies.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I could do that with enemies. I was going to do that once, actually, but that's another time.
Well, enemies air quotes.
I cast Cure Wounds on Vol.
All right. Managing to cure wounds on Vol, you can tell that really did help. She was at half health, if anything else. So looking at you, she does thank you.
No problem. And I'm also going to cast, where is it? There it is. Spiritual Weapon. Oh wait, no, I can't make damage yet, can I?
You can cast a cantrip.
That's a bonus action.
Yeah, it's a bonus action, so I can't really attack until my next turn.
No, you can.
Oh,
You
I
can.
Yeah.
It's an attack. It's attack once you cast it, and then you can attack again as a bonus action your next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, you can move. You move it as a bonus action, but your spiritual weapon moves and attacks within your bonus action.
The first time you
Alright.
summon it, you get a free swing.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack the crawfish in front of me.
All right.
Do I have to roll again? Would I have to?
Yeah, it's basically your spell save marker, so I think it's +6 total. Yes. 18 does it.
I need to find out the damage.
You click on the word spiritual weapon where it has the 18 and 13.
Sorry, where would I find it?
In the Roll20 chat. It's been a while.
1d8 plus my soul casting modifier. I don't even know what that is.
So just
That's
over where it tells you the results of the dice in Roll20. There's the title that says the description of what you did. Click on spiritual weapon in there. Not the description. Right above that.
The black words, where you hover over it, it should read red. Nikolai, I'm afraid only
I
the
did.
person that has...
I did click that, and that's where.
I was so close.
I did click that, but it only did
Oh, that's weird. Let me click on it, because I technically can. It asks you what level. What level?
I believe it's level 2.
Okay. So you do 5 points.
Casting it at level 2.
You might have missed
So you're casting.
So casting it, doing the damage. It does do 5 points of force damage, so the crab does get hurt. I don't know why it did it for me. Maybe it was a misclick.
Maybe it was.
It's possible. But we'll deal with that later, next time. It does swing and do a good amount of damage, but not to kill it outright. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. At the end of your turn, Vera does take her turn, looks towards Nikolai, looks towards Ada, and decides that they need more help because it's 2 against 2 versus Nikolai and his weird weapon.
Hey, it's a good weapon, and I got it from being a hero. It's a great one.
She swings twice with her bow, but for some reason I can't hit a thing with her bow. Finny.
Yeah. Hey, I can hit it with a freaking mandible of a dead worm, and you can't hit something with a bow.
She just looks at you with a raised eyebrow, wondering why you're berating her. In game. Out of game, I can totally understand. Finny, here you go. Finny, if you're talking, I can't hear you. At 6th level, you get the ability to heal yourself as an action. You can regain hit points equal to 3 times your monk level. You must finish in a long rest before you can use this feature again. Nice!
Yeah, so that gives me, I'm at level 6. That's 18.
Yes! Which is very good, because you were very, very low.
Yeah, I was hurt and there was no hope over there.
Oh my.
Yeah, I was pretty close to dying, guys. Hold on 1 second. I got a bonus action I want to use.
Yeah. As you're looking at the crabs around yourself, you can tell that the crab farthest to the south is like on its side, on its back. So the shell, air quotes underneath, is a lot more malleable. So maybe bludgeoning attacks on that while it's prone might hit harder.
The only problem is I don't have any attacks left right now.
Okay.
Because I used that thing that I had to use as an action.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I am going to do what I just did.
Yeah,
I'm
step
pretty
forward.
sure that my buddy Dust can finish him off. I'm come over here to help. How far can I go with that dash?
A dash is basically your speed. Let's see, a dash would. Yeah,
It would be fine just moving with your normal movement. You wouldn't have to use Step of the Wind.
like if you're going completely all the way max speed,
I'm
it would be
going to
60
Nikolai.
feet. If you're going to Nikolai, it would require it would require a dash. So you can get all the way to Nikolai.
You're gonna provoke unless you're gonna provoke an opportunity attack though.
How?
I guess if the knight or / guard is an enemy,
No, this crab, because he's moving right past him.
he can go around. Like he can
it's over
go
here.
around.
He can?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Wait, what?
Yeah, monks have like 40 feet of movement. They can move up to 80 if they dash.
What? Oh, his movement is 40?
My move is higher than that. I think my move is 50. It's 50.
Yeah, you should be fine to move around. So
I did. Never mind. I didn't say anything.
monks are fast. All right. That's your bonus action, your action. Utilities still have like 30 feet of movement, but you don't need to use it. Not unless you want to.
I'm great.
All right. At the end of your turn, the knight that I don't know why I keep calling him a knight. The guard next to Dust begins to try to swing in with his sword. +1/+1 swords are always pretty good. Swing does not hit. Swing hits.
Yay!
For a total of 11 damage. You can tell the crab next to him is very hurt. Not dead, but another swing like that will definitely take it out. Nikolai.
All right. Noticing that Finney decided to bolt over here like a freaking cassowary, I'm gonna just. I see that Bull over there seems a little bit out of her element, and I'm gonna help her out. I'm gonna reach down, grab look on my pouch or on my robe, and grab one of the patches and throw the cubic pit, and I'm gonna throw it right in that. It's a 10-foot cubic pit, and I'm gonna throw it to right here. So these 4 squares.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's a 10-foot cubic pit, and I'm going to suspect that since there's water there, the cubic pit and the crab will fall in the pit.
Yeah. If technically. So, you make a cubic pit in the area, causing the crab to fall in. I'm gonna say they make a dexterity saving throw to not get prone. Their dex isn't incredible, but it is still there. That's an 8. So, nope, doesn't make it. Falling into the pit, then the water hits and churns into it. You can tell that the pit itself is sinking in, causing the dirt, the grime, the saltwater, technically freshwater crabs. The fresh water sinks in and causing them to basically be consumed by the wetwork. Ultimately,
as
defeat.
As the water is flowing in, I'm gonna my second action. I'm gonna throw and chuck another ice spike right onto the underbelly as this crab rolls over into the pit, freezing the water as it's being encased underneath the pit.
To add insult to injury, you chuck a spell of ice, of frost, to burn and consume the heat in the water to cause it to sink and freeze, ultimately making its own tomb.
Oh my goodness! And the second level.
Nice.
Well, that one's dead, gone, buried, frozen to death. And the pit fills up with water and sand once more.
Can can I retract it at some point, or is it gone?
You can unbury it,
Oh yeah, I have to unbury it. Oh gosh,
which
that's
does
a lot
mean
of work.
you have to unbury your patch as well. It's a lot of work. I'm just gonna tell you that, all right.
And then as a bonus action, I'll stab the other guy, the other one that's next to me.
All right. I'm afraid the 7 does not hit. So with your blade, it sinks, but it does not sink in. Let's see. On Vol's turn, she nods, looks straight towards you, Nikolai. She mouths, "Thank you." Doesn't want to shout that out because she's fighting an enemy. But moves closer to the enemy. Sees that Ada is better than she is, but she's not doing so bad herself now. With her shillelagh, she sinks in and finally does manage to hit 1d8 plus her modifier for 8 points of damage. You can tell that the crab itself is very hurt. Thanks to Ada and the spiritual weapon, it is close to death, but not quite there. On your team, the crab looks towards you, Nikolai, because it's been attacking you first, and technically doesn't notice Finny just yet. So it will try to hit you. With a +5, does not hit. Does not hit. So it's just clicking and clacking its hands directly towards you, but thankfully enough, it does not do a thing. Next to Vol and Ada, it will evens Vol, odds Ada, evens Vol. We'll go for Vol. And thankfully enough, neither of those strikes hit in turn. On the guard and dust side, the crab eventually does get back up using half of its movement, so it is now only able to move 15 feet. It then is able to get to dust.
Yeah, I was hoping I was just far enough away, but then I realized, dang it. Clearly not far enough.
Multi-attack strike hits, does not hit. So the first swing strikes in, but the second one you push yourself back, not wanting to get hit by another swing, so 6 points of damage. The other crab goes for the guard up top, and the guard up top, let's see, +5, does get hit twice. Oh wait, did not do my math right in that one. Gets hit once. The guard is hurt. You can tell that they're not able to take another swing like that. But that crab itself is almost dead, so up to dust.
Oh, dang. Oh. Okay. That changes what I wanted to do.
The guard does has 2 attacks and goes before the crab next time, so you don't actually have to go in and hit it.
Okay.
I'm just.
Then I am going to cast Chromatic Orb right behind the crab that's attacking me, and it is going to be lightning
All right.
damage. Wow, 31 points of damage.
That's a 13 though.
Oh,
Oh no!
A chromatic orb just bursts into the area. I'm afraid I don't have lightning effects. And sinks in and burns away. However, the crab just... like a turtle, I guess, because I still don't get how this doesn't hit. Sinks into its shell, and the parade of elemental energy just washes over and around it, not being hit whatsoever.
Was that a third level?
all of my spells, when I cast them, they do max damage.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
so when I cast a level spell, it casts it at my max level because I only have 2 spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So all my spells that I cast are at 3rd level.
Yeah.
But you're out of spells now, right?
I am out of spells. I can only cast cantrips.
So the crab turtles in, and just the shell washes around the elemental flow of energy and lightning. It concusses around it, but doesn't do any harm to it.
I mean, that damage though, like you had 2 8s, 2 7s, and a 1. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I was thinking it was another spell. So and so I was just like
area of effect spell?
Yeah, an area of effect spell. And so that's where I was just like, wait a minute, and dang it. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to stay here because I can't move far enough away for get out of its reach. So, I guess that's gonna be it.
All right, Ada.
Okay, well, yeah, I got it. All right, Sacred Flame on this crab right here. If I can do that, can I see it?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on him.
Let's see, Dex +2. That's 16. So I'm afraid it just succeeds. So the Sacred Flame burns in and burns half of its body, but not the other half. So it does take 4 points of damage, of radiant damage. The crab itself is weak on its last hind legs, but strong enough to maybe get one last multi-attack on Nikolai and Finny. Who's to say?
That's good. And then I'm going to do my spiritual weapon again. I still don't know how to do the damage yet, but I'm doing it on this one.
All right. Unfortunately, that does miss. The blade swings in, but the crab itself just, not that you saw that one, but like dust, just turtles into itself, and the shell just protects its body.
All right.
Unfortunately. All right. Let's see. At the end of your turn, Vera does look towards Ada and Nikolai, and she doesn't want Nikolai because he's been so rude to her. Well, she's been rude too, like heavily. Decides to try to kill it before they can, just to prove a point. Unfortunately, misses and hits finally.
Whoa!
Oh, nice. Unfortunately, you only had 7 health left. And thankfully enough, the arrows do piercing damage. As she wheels her arrow back, one flicks to the area, causing a small crack, and the other one sinks into the flesh of the crab meat and causes it to go down and hit the ground. Finny.
I was just about to kill that guy.
You're a little bit too late there.
I didn't have a turn yet. Now I gotta come over here and finish this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. Okay.
I'm gonna get to him too. I got enough movement to make to him.
Yes, you can. Rushing towards the guard that's in town, that basically air quotes hired you. 5 crab ahead. You go straight towards it and. I think that's the first time you missed.
Yes.
With your sickle, you go and try to pierce in, but it does not rake through. With your second swing, you reverse the sickle, and with 15, now you know it's AC, unfortunately. It pierces into its hide. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah, that's enough to kill it. It sinks in, you bury it with your other remaining hand, and it cuts clean through the shell. Someone is definitely eating good tonight. Or evening, dependent.
I'm gonna cast a bonus action.
Okay. So long as it's a bonus action spell, you can.
Yeah, it's a flurry of blows.
Oh, that's an effect, but that's also fine.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the creature is no longer prone. You'll still do damage, but it'll probably be the least you can do. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it still will do something. There's one right there.
Yeah. So that one does strike in and sink in. So that does hit. for 4 points of bludgeoning damage. It sinks in, but you can clearly tell that it's not quite dead yet. And the second one?
I thought that's halved.
He said it. The 19 points of damage that I dealt with my Riptide, it was only like 1 or 2 points of damage.
Out of game in game, the crabs themselves are completely immune to bludgeoning damage, but
That's right.
something still hits for something. So I make things hit at least for 1 or 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Hold
on, gotta check out one more thing. Let me see.
Yeah, these things are susceptible to magic, piercing, slashing, but not bludgeoning.
Oh.
That's it. There's
Yeah.
a reason to hit him again. It's not even worth it.
I mean, you can. At the very least, it'll bring them 1 tick down.
All right, let's try that. I missed
Unfortunately,
anyway.
no, it does not hit. Yeah. Nikolai. Nikolai, at the start of your turn, you can tell that this guard... they would help Finny because he probably saved his life. Comes over.
Okay.
Swings in once. Swings in twice. Yeah, he hits twice. Let's see if they kill it. Wow. Unfortunately, this crab is just hardy enough that it's still on its last 2 legs. It is, like, anyone else that hits straight will probably kill it. But let's see if, the guard survives its next turn. Anyway, Nikolai.
Ada, did you need some help over there?
No, we're all right.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Vera's pretty okay with a bow. I think she can help if anything. So, okay. I suppose I'll go help. I don't know. I'm gonna go see how the villagers are doing. Actually, I'll see if they're doing okay. Nikolai runs over and talks to these villagers.
All right.
What? Well, are crabs common in this area? Are they actually a thing that they come around and pester you?
Looking at you, the other guard in town that's not assisting you does, and protecting the citizens, he's not doing nothing, does state, they're common enough that we do need to position guards here, and hire guards, but not so common that they come out of nowhere. Unfortunately, the weird weather patterns have been causing more of a stir within the environment.
I see. Huh. Well, I'm glad I can be here to help. And then as my second action, I'll just throw a ray of frost at the one that's over here. Just like casually, just hold it out a hand and just chuck it behind my back.
At the one at Finney's team?
Yes.
Okay. 13 does not hit him, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So you casually chuck it over there, and it just like flies in and hits 5 feet away from the crab itself. It was close, but not close.
Yeah. That's okay.
Bonus?
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna chill over here, keeping the villagers calm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Vol's turn. She still has her shillelagh. +5. 15 does hit. Oh, and with the last swing, just bludgeons this creature to... It does bludgeoning damage. No! I forgot about that. It just plunges the creature and it's still alive. Natural 20, I'm going to say it does 2 damage. So the creature is unfortunately still alive. Taken away from... Ruined by my own charade. Creature will swing towards Vol. or Ada, evens odds. Ada's evens. Ada, I'm sorry, you're evens. Oh, wow. So that's one strike. Natural 20 obviously hits, and 22 does hit, I'm afraid. For a total of 17 points of damage.
You said that you were good.
Wow.
I thought you were. I thought you were good. So I went over here. So yeah, sorry.
The final crab on Dust's side does try to swing in. I'm gonna say Finny is 1. The random guard is 2. Dust is 3, and 4. To make it more interesting, 4 is the guard. And it's Dust. So the crab then decides to make aim towards Dust, which makes sense. You were attacking with magic, and it probably doesn't like being hit. So with its multi-attacks, it does try to pincer in, but you're flexible enough that it does not strike true, which is good.
Yay!
Oh man.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, the guard
I'm
probably
gonna
would have died.
Yeah. I am going to shift over, and then I'm going to cast Sword Burst.
Oh, dex save. 16. They have a +2 dex. That is 21. Why am I saving in all these?
Ah!
Good roll night.
I can't do anything today.
Try to hold the creatures. I always fail on hold saves. Don't quote me on that.
That is all I can do.
So with a barrage of sword bursts, it sinks into the area, but somehow the crab, like before, turtles into its shell, and the swords just spine in and force into the sand. Ada.
Burning people again.
Oh.
Simplifying.
Dex +2. 18, unfortunately, but thankfully enough, this is radiant damage. So the radiant damage begins to sink into the crab. It tries to sink into itself, trying not to get hurt by the flame, but it sinks into both shell and meat, that it basically cooks it from the inside out, much like lobsters. So
Holy.
unfortunately, this thing is fully cooked and ready to be served.
Hey, you said though. Nice.
It only had 4 health left.
Hey, at least Nikolai won't complain about exotic meats anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Although he might complain because it almost killed him.
True.
Ada, anything else?
I don't think. Nope.
All right. You can technically move your blade to some other direction, but you technically don't know if Dust and Finny are still fighting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm
going to say you moved it, but honestly, you won't get close enough to them.
Yeah.
You know, just in case. On Vera's turn, she just spends her entire action to get to the other side. Finny. With your first strike with your butterfly knife sword, butterfly knife is a different thing. It tries to sink in, but it does not pierce through its shell. And with the second swing, you manage to pierce into its carcass, maybe, eventually, probably soon enough, and push your blade into the meat itself. How does that only do 2 points of damage? That, I don't feel is right.
We'll have to deal with it later. We'll take this too.
Okay. It sinks in, pushes through, and you can tell that it's almost dead. Like, another strike like that, because honestly it only has 5 hit points left, would take it down.
I'm going to do Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
I'm going through a lot of Kai. Okay. I know it doesn't hurt it, but it might be something. Let's see. Come on, not
That does
20.
hit. Nice. With a good amount of fury blows, it does sink in and do a good amount of damage. Not quite dead yet, but I'm going to say if you hit next time, it'll do 2 points of damage, which is enough to kill it.
Then that's what we're going to do. No!
Oh. So with the final assault, it tries to sink in, but your knuckles hit the shell rather than your entire fist, and it just you stop yourself before breaking your fingers. Finny, anything else? I didn't hear anything, so I'm gonna assume no.
No. I thought it was the soldier's turn. My fault. I don't have any moves.
No, you're fine. I really don't like NPCs finishing off the fight for you. But, you know, it's a crab fight. It's not some sort of elder dragon or something like that. So as Nikolai looks around, he notices the guard going for a swing at the crab. Miss. And hits. And unfortunately, with his very good blade, probably will have enough strength to kill it. Yeah. And with the final swing, carves in and sinks and renders the shell completely through and through, causing it to completely die outright. Your team managed to succeed, and also get really hurt.
Mr. Knight, did you just kill the last enemy? Did we get money for that?
Yes, you assisted us. So.
Yeah. Okay, I was just checking, because I mean, if you get killed it, then I mean, I didn't know if you took the money for killing it or we took the money for killing it.
It's for assistance.
Yeah. So wait, was it total? Like, I thought we got money for like each kill and not just for just assisting.
No, each game you're able to bring back. If you're not able to retrieve it, then no payment for that. Obviously, the meat, the carcass itself, can be used for return.
Oh, so you're saying the one that I like obliterated with like an nuclear ice shard and threw it in the ground. We don't get money for that.
I did not see that, but I suppose not.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, the DM really didn't describe. Sorry, the DM didn't really describe that.
Well, it's on the other side of the bridge. He definitely didn't see that.
Yeah, no, I was kind of crazy, and you kind of just like, it was funny because you just didn't even describe it, and I did a crit, and it just got buried, and I was like, what happened?
Well, technically I did describe it. It just got like frozen in place, and then the water basically buried it further.
Oh, I was confused because it was just gone. It's just like eviscerated.
I mean, that's how much damage you did. You basically froze it solid, buried it under the ground. The water then went inside, froze, and then more dirt. That thing was annihilated. I'm afraid you did too much damage.
By the way, I did 36 damage. If it failed its save.
Yeah, it would have completely been gone.
Okay.
That's kind of why I didn't describe it so heavily.
That was a good fight. Thank you. Yeah.
No, thank you. He goes over, thanks the rest of your teams. He does give each of you a health potion to make sure you guys can heal yourselves up.
Well, I'm fine. Thank you, though. I mean, I don't need anything.
No, keep it
I'll
in
save
case
it.
you need it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, he does collect the shells of each creature he can find, eventually coming down to a total of 4. Because one was super buried. I'm going to say, Nikolai, you take your time. You won't be able to collect the money. 5. You won't be able to collect the money for that one, but you are able to retrieve your patch back. You do get a little wet. Eventually,
I
you
can
cast
go and
Prestidigitation.
I'll just I don't have prestidigitation.
You just get close to a fire to allow it to burn away the water.
I don't have spells that can do things that can go in the ground. Can I use Mage Hand and try to help me dig?
Yeah, you use a couple of Mage Hands to help you dig into the water, into the sand, to eventually find the patch out of there. You use Mage Hand to go in, look around, and grab it, and pull it back out.
Okay.
Essentially, that does also cave in the water system, so you get more sand on your clothing than anything else. You do retrieve it.
Damn.
It's just a pain in the half to do so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just takes me like 30 minutes or an hour or something.
Yeah, more or less. While he's doing that, the guard himself is like basically not commissioning, but looking over each crab, deshelling them, getting the meat ready, put them to the side, getting the shells to the side. It does seem that everything is in order. He's communicating with other people around town. The shells are going to be used for some sort of armor set. The meat itself is going to be used for obviously meat. He does ration out one's crab meat pouch, basically 3 rations of fisher crab meat for you guys, as well as 1 shell system provided for each of you. Not each of you, 1 shell of the crab itself, in case you guys want to do something with it. So in total amount, because it's 5 per head, the group gets a total of 25 gold.
Total or each?
25 gold total.
Okay.
But the crabs are basically distributed back into town. You guys get 3 rations of crab meat and 1 shell hide of a fisher crab. With that, though, the guard states, I do thank you again. It is honestly a pain to killing those. We do sometimes lose a man here and there. So honestly, not losing someone is better.
Yeah, yes. And yes. Yeah, no problem.
We almost lost you.
That's honestly quite true.
Well, I'm gonna go. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna go look around and see what I can find, shop wise, and all the townsfolk you have. Nikolai's gonna go look for shops and things and see what he can find that the local buyers and merchants have.
All right. We're gonna take a 5 here. I'll be right back. It's not gonna be 5, but I need to go do something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Wow, that was fun. Little battle. I like that.
Hey, Finny, I got a question for you.
Good. I'm listening.
Okay, on your sickle, what is the damage that you have for it, and what is the proficiency damage you have for it?
I would not know.
Okay, because
I know that I'm proficient in it.
Yeah, what is your proficiency bonus? Because it looks like it's a.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your dexterity bonus?
It says 0. Oh, +6.
You're what? It
says +6.
So
no, that's not possible.
So
is it possible?
I don't do anything but just put the item in, and this came up all on its own. Like I didn't make this thing up. Tell me what I need to do.
So with so when it comes to weapons proficiency and whatnot, so like let's take your sickle. It's a finesse weapon, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So for attacking, it is your dexterity modifier.
Yes.
Plus your proficiency bonus, which at this point it should be 3.
That's what it says. Plus dex 3.
When it comes to damage, it is just the number of dice that you roll. So in that case, it'd be like.
It says damage to 1d6. Is that correct?
Yeah. It would be 1d6. That's the number of dice, and then it would be plus your dexterity modifier, but nothing else.
What does damage to 1d6 mean?
So that means you roll a d6 of damage, and then you add your dex. So you roll like a 6 and then you add 3.
Because, can you guys see the screen?
No.
Yeah, I'm seeing it right here, like with your butterfly sword. Okay. It's saying a 1d6 plus 3 dex plus a modifier. That modifier would be if you had like a +1 weapon.
Yeah. No, so now roll your sickle. Roll your sickle weapon attack.
Oh, 1 second. I want to see what you have the The butterfly. Is the butterfly wrong too?
I think the butterfly is low for some reason on its
No,
I
it's a
think
plus.
the butterfly's right. It's a 1D. I thought it was a 1D. I always thought it was 2. Is it 2d6?
It is
Short sword.
2d6 on a katana.
No,
The butterfly sword is a short sword, so it should be a 1d6.
Okay, yeah.
So you should have a
Also-
1d6 plus 3 dex from your dexterity.
And then your proficiency bonus.
For damage,
believe
it won't
it's
have the proficiency. For damage, it won't have the proficiency.
Okay, so now roll one of your sickle damage.
But I
Roll
want
one
to
of
talk
your.
about the butterfly sword real quick, guys.
No, it's good. It's already good. Like the damage and everything is good.
Okay, so let's talk to the sickle.
Okay, roll the sickle.
I want to talk to it real quick.
Okay.
Let's walk through it so I can make sure it's the way you guys
Yeah,
want it.
yeah. Roll like make an attack so we can just look at it.
Hold on one second. Let me close it.
There you go. And then click the sickle and click the sickle attack.
For the damage.
There you go. So you're rolling 2d8s for the damage, and you're adding a +3 and a +6.
Oh yeah, no, for sickle, that's way too high. Sickles are like, I want to say 1d4, 1d6 tops.
Hey guys, listen. All I do is put the stuff in. Tell me how it should be. It doesn't matter to me. So let's go through the damage, since you know. What should it be?
Sickle weapon 5e.
Yeah, just tell me, guys.
I'm just making sure. I'm just double checking.
No, it's a little high. It's really high for.
What I'm saying to me,
sickle.
it doesn't matter. I just want to play with you guys.
Yeah. Sickle weapon, simple sickle. I'm assuming it's a simple sickle. Like no other thing.
No, it's just. It says proficient sickle, and the damage. What should the damage be?
On here it says 1d4 slashing.
Oh.
1d4 slashing.
Yeah,
So-
you were doing. It was crazy because you were doing like 20 damage, and then you did a 22. I was like, "Holy crap! How are you doing that much damage?"
Yeah,
1d4
so like,
slashing, and plus the dexterity modifier, right?
Yes.
yeah.
And what should it be? 3?
Yeah, it should be a 1d4 plus 3. But right now, the way I'm seeing it, like that last roll for damage, it's a 2d8 plus your 3 dexterity modifier plus a 6 modifier. So you need to.
Now, what should the critical range be? 20 still?
It should be 20 still, yeah. Unless you have like some sort of feat that makes it like 19 or 20. Which I don't
Now,
think you do.
what should the attack be? Should it say dexterity like I want it?
Dexterity
Yeah.
plus proficiency.
I did. Is there anything in between there where it says 0?
No.
No, not
No,
unless it's something else. No.
It says dexterity plus 0 plus proficient.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus
There you
0
go.
is like if the weapon itself is like something better than a standard sickle.
Yeah, if it's like
Okay.
if it's like a +1 or a +2 weapon.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it should be that way with damage too. So, for like your sickle, it should be a 1 for damage for your sickle. Should be a 1d4 plus just your dex.
So imagine what you were using for that fight. You were using a sickle that literally a demigod or a god like had blessed you, and that is the power level that you had for that sickle because you had a +6 added onto it.
I wouldn't know. Because you guys don't understand. The reason why you
Yeah.
don't understand is, I'll give you an example, Nikolai. Nikolai has so much bullshit patches. I never
know,
questioned
yeah.
him.
No.
Hold on. Let me
Yeah.
talk, Nikolai. Let me talk. I never
Yeah.
questioned him. I just assume that's what it is.
Mhm.
So thank you for correcting this. Because
Yeah.
I don't question anything. I just want to play.
Yeah,
So-
you're good.
Yeah.
1d4 plus dex. And what is the other thing? A 3? Where's
No. So it's a
So what
1d4 plus your dex, and then it should be a +0 because you don't have a special weapon
Okay.
that deals additional damage.
Okay, now that's fixed.
Finny,
Yeah.
Yes.
did you? So when you started everything, what kind of, because Dogma let us have an uncommon, so just a background, just to let you, I don't want you to feel you don't have it, like, I'm my uncommon magic thing that we got when we started, I chose to have the robe of useful items. That's what the robe that I have. And it has all these trinkets and things that I have on me. And I don't know
anything like that.
So you did not get an uncommon item that you get when you started?
Ada, Finny, did you guys not choose it?
No, we don't even know what that is.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
That makes a lot more sense. So, I mentioned it when you guys started, but I guess we can go over it now. I'm gonna say you guys find it in the shops. In the beginning, I did mention beforehand, but honestly, we were having troubles with finding people to play, so it can easily have been swept under the rug. Are supposed to get an uncommon item, or lesser. What that is anything in the game that is uncommon or below that, you can choose to have it. What that means is it can also be a magical item. The magical items are and can be found in the DnD. Let's see here, the player's manual or online.
Yes, that should be better.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's also in the DM.
DM's manual.
Yeah.
This one might be wrong too.
That's right.
Okay, good. No, we're good.
Okay. I'm just gonna give you
something uncommon. I thought it was just stuff you guys had from being on the mission so long. I was like, man, they got crazy shit.
Yeah, I think that as well.
Yeah, that was a start. That was a starting thing.
Yeah.
Ever talked about it? Like I remember we had like stuff messed up when it came to us starting. I don't think that was ever brought up.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I think it may have been brought up, but it was like glossed over because there were so many issues that were going on.
Yeah, I think so. I think I brought it up once, and then you guys wanted to make sure everything was leveled up correctly, and then I forgot about it, thinking I did it. So
yeah, that's what happened.
In Discord, I put a list of rarity items you can find or have.
Oh, okay.
You can choose from common or uncommon within that list.
You don't have to pick one today. Like, honestly, you should not pick one today. Look over it. Make sure you find the one that fits with your character, because it's like your character's been traveling and they've been going throughout their mission, and like they've had this item with them, and it's traveled with them for their journey. So it's something that is close to you that you've acquired.
Yeah, it's weird. I've been playing for a long time. I'm like, where the fuck are they getting this shit at? I'm just going with the flow. Like, I like at least they're on my team, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. Just save us.
Yeah, and see, like my magical item is actually a magical bag of spices, and so I really haven't pulled that out when you guys have been around.
I heard you were a good cook.
He is honestly, he's the best cook. Okay, so he has ability to give us extra HP when we take a long rest. When we
short rest.
Short rest or long rest?
It's short rest, but during long rests, what I can do is I can make basically health capsules. Give you temporary health if you consume them.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's like stacks that would give you temporary health if you consume them.
Yeah. Looking through that list, I would not pick one immediately. I would go over, see what would fit your character, and choose it then. But I'm gonna say you guys found it in this store area, grabbed it, picked it out, and this is when you'll get it, I suppose.
Can we just I don't want to roleplay this, because we're getting close to our time limit.
Yeah, you'll basically be staying here for the night, heading towards the observatory today/next week.
Dogma, did I find anything? Did I get a chance to talk to anybody to see about magic items or anything that they were here?
Yeah, looking over towards this area, finding some magical items, seeing if there's anything here. So far, no one is currently here. as in no one is currently here for the from the capital, from Aquas, from Frost. So what you have is what we currently have, but they still have some stuff. Looking through it, you can tell that there is a Fireball Magic Scroll, a Precipitation Scroll, a Scroll of Conjure Animal, and a Scroll of Fey Kind, which you don't necessarily know what that means, since you've never heard of that before. So Fireball.
They just have scrolls? They don't have anything else?
I'm just naming what I have so far.
Oh, okay.
Give me some good stuff.
In retrospect, this is a fairly small town.
I mean,
and so it not having a whole lot of magical items makes a whole lot of sense. In fact, them even having scrolls is surprising in of them.
How much is a scroll of Fireball?
The Scroll of Fireball is roughly 300 gold. They'll give you a great deal today.
I'll buy that scroll off of them.
Nice. Honestly, a Scroll of Fireball is more than that, so it is honestly.
That's way more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, they well, I'm gonna say they hold that to the side for you. I'm gonna say everyone else goes shopping as well. So they have those things. They have +1 weapons, so you can get those. You basically swap out the weapon you have, pay 50 gold, and you now have a +1 blade of your choosing. They only have so much
50 gold?
Yeah, it's also steel.
Wow, you're giving us things.
You are getting closer to a maybe a little harder area. Who's to say?
He's giving us health potions, man.
Yeah.
We gotta stock up on weapons and ammo.
It's scary.
I also don't know how much money you guys currently have, so I'm making it affordable.
Okay.
I've been stocking on money, so sorry, Dogma, if you can't see my character sheet.
I can. I just decided not to. In case I don't want. I look at your backstories. I continue to look towards that, but I don't look towards. Hey, I know you notice you have this armor that reduces fire damage, so I will attack you with lightning damage. No. I know some DMs that like look over towards your character sheet and selectively choose enemies fighting towards you. Which I get, but sometimes a DM can abuse that kind of power.
Hey, I'll take one of those things that gives me 1 extra.
Okay. Basically, you switch out your old weapon, pay 50 gold, and then have a new weapon with a +1 added bonus to your weapon already.
Gives you 50 gold? I can do that?
Yeah, no. My weapon is exotic enough. I don't think I would find it here.
Probably not. They have like long swords, broadswords, daggers, and the like, but not chakrams or anything like that. No katanas.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a katana. Maybe. We'll see. They do have armor sets that reduce elemental damages, but those are a little bit on the expensive side. Roughly around 800 gold at the start, ranging from 800 to 1,500 gold.
What about some of the more standard armors?
They do have the standard armor sets. Those are all by the book prices, so that's easily enough accessible to you.
Okay, give me a second.
What about the amulets that give you +1 armor? Do you have any of those?
Looking towards the amulets that give you +1 armor, you can tell that there is a buckler that gives you a +1 bonus to your AC. It's not magical, it's just like a small shield that you can use on your hand that basically has your hands free.
Yes.
There's
How
that.
much is it?
That itself is roughly around 80 gold.
I'll take it.
Wouldn't you have to be proficient in shields to use that?
I don't remember.
Because a buckler is a shield.
I think it's for monks, what I read.
Buckler.
They're typically unarmed combat.
Buckler is a small metal shield held in a fist grip. As it's not strapped, it can be donned or doffed as easily as drawn a sword, down weapon. Wielding a buckler increases your AC by 1. You can benefit from only one shield at a time. If you proficient with light armor with the rapier, then you can wield the buckler with proficiency even if you are not otherwise proficient with a shield. Are you proficient with a rapier? Or light armor?
Let me take a look.
If
I
you
don't
are,
think
you can
so.
use it. Oh, then I guess not.
Well, let me quickly look.
I'm longsword, longbow, short bow, short sword, and simple weapons.
If it doesn't say your proficiencies, like there's a list there where it says like proficient in, then I guess not.
No problem.
Yeah, there's no armor proficiencies for monks.
I'm gonna
I gotta
say
try some kind of amulet.
I want to say there's an amulet there, but it's a little expensive because it is magic at that point.
Okay.
So it's like 500 gold for a +1 amulet of. I was about to say defenses, dude. I want to say of endurance. So an armor of endurance amulet is 500 gold. It gives you a +1 to your AC. It's expensive though.
I'm good.
I am going to upgrade. I just have to see how. I'm going to upgrade my armor to studded leather.
Nice.
So my AC will go up by 1.
Nice.
Which isn't a whole lot, but it can mean the difference.
You can sell off the stuff you have, like in case you want to sell some stuff off, at 80% the buyback rate. Not the buyback rate. The full like new price rate. So like if you're getting new armor but want to sell the old armor not to carry it, you can do so at 80% back what you would pay initially for it.
Okay, yeah, that I'll go ahead and do that.
Hey Dogma, remember when I killed the guy when I was impersonating Horus with the bag of devouring?
Yes.
Yep.
Did I keep the bag of devouring, or was the bag of devouring still on his head?
You took it with you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh yeah. While we're in the town, and well, probably before we left Mighty, I think I would have gone and investigated that secondary bag, as well as the cloak that we got.
Investigating the bag and the cloak. I want to say the shop owner did it. Investigating those things, you can tell that the bag itself was identified, and it's not as dangerous as Nikolai's bag. It is, in fact, a bag of holding. It can carry up to 500 pounds of weight. It is able to stretch out to the size of a... look at my notes. It's able to stretch out to the size of 2 basketballs. I don't know why I have 2 basketballs in my notes, but it's there. Which is still a pretty good size. So, you have a bag of holding that can carry 500 pounds.
Oh my goodness. What? Okay. As the last thing I probably want to do, and it's probably a good thing to end off the session, Nikolai would like to go around and look for a, let's say a shady slash, I don't know, rogue-like type of establishment, somewhere where that people would have like thievery or rogue-like people that would know more about like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Before that though, Ada, anything else on your end?
No, sorry. I was looking at the link you sent. I was just reading things over while everything was happening. So I was really engaging at the moment.
It's fine. You're fine. I just wanted to make sure you were included.
What about the cloak?
Yes. Again, Ada and Finny, make sure you pick it. No rush. But if you don't pick it by next week, you won't have it by next week. But again, no rush. Make sure you look through that. While Nikolai is looking for the seedy part of the underbelly area, the cloak itself is a cloak of refraction, which sounds cool when you think about it, and then you just realize that it just presents light in a more ambient space around you, and then it identifies and registers as a secondary magical effect. It then presents to you a aura of not an aura, sorry. It then reads as a cloak of disguise clothes. So the cloak itself is able to be draped over you and change into a new set of clothes that you can see. Or have seen. The aura itself shimmers and shines around you, giving you a +1 to your charisma. And the cloak itself is able to change into any clothes you see or have seen.
Nikolai, you had both those items. I think you had picked up both of those items.
What for what? I picked up the items for. Wait. When did I do this?
I think someone said, "Yeah, we'll pick them up," and I think it was Nikolai.
Oh,
What was it in your inventory? Was it in your inventory?
Totally, yes, indeed.
Okay.
The entire group knows you have these, Nikolai. They're not hidden. You guys identified them together.
Okay.
And so I think it was you who would pick them up, but you can distribute them to whoever you wish to.
So the cloak of what?
The cloak of refraction. It gives you a +1 to your charisma, as well as able to change into any clothing set you have seen or see.
What was the other one?
Bag of holding. Carries up to
Okay.
500 pounds and stretches out to 2 basketballs. I don't know why I have that measurement.
Finny should get the bag of holding, and Ada should get the cloak of diffraction.
The cloak also does give +1 to charisma too.
Mhm.
Well, I probably should get the charisma thing. That'd be really overpowered.
The cloak itself cannot bring you above
That's a lot of
20.
charisma.
Yeah, it can't bring you above a 20. So if you're already a 20,
Never mind. Yeah, I'm at a 20.
Yeah.
so
I mean, you look
Okay.
glamorous, but it won't increase it beyond that point, I'm afraid.
Okay.
What's the bag called again?
A bag of
The
holding.
bag of holding.
so it can carry up to 500 pounds of stuff.
I can't
So-
have 21 charisma. I can't
yeah.
look super fly.
You can, but it won't go that high. Finny, you should be able to find that in the compendium in roll 20. If it tells you can carry more, that's fine. You can carry more. For some reason in my notes, I have 500 pounds.
Okay.
This is besides your uncommon item.
This is something new you get
So
regardless of the item you choose.
and I think maybe stat-wise, ideally the cloak, I should take it because I am a charisma-based character, so.
Up to you guys. That being said, Nikolai, you find one of the more shadier sides of the area. Inside, you do find a nice rogue-like effect. In the corner, like hunched down in the back, you do know that they are a halfling, maybe dwarf, somewhere mixed in between, with one of their ears cut off and the other one like bitten half off.
Okay. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, what do you
What's
want?
going on? Yeah. Hey, you. I'm looking for somebody that might know about the underdealings in this port town. Can I roll intimidation?
That wasn't really intimidating, but you can.
Yes.
20. Looking towards you, the guy, like, he's not intimidated, but he respects that. Like, you bringing up to yourself, like, no, scared, no, nothing like that. So he respects that. Not intimidated, but he does respect it. And he goes,
Well, I'm pulling out the blade that I got from Jillian at the same time, kind of like having it at my throat to
Yeah.
like intimidate him. Yeah.
putting it around your throat and then like spiking it into the table to make your point. And then the guy goes, "All right, if you have that blade, that's easy enough. I respect that. What are we talking about? Smuggling, drugs? What exactly are you after?"
Magic items.
Oh, well, right now there's nothing coming in, at least not this week. If you want, like, black market magical items, come back next week. We'll definitely have something going through. But right now, no one's shipping anything in or out. So what we have in town right now is what we have in town.
Okay. Well, I'll keep an ear open, just in case. So, thanks for the info.
Yeah, no problem. Anything for the dawning blade. Wait, is dawn sunset or sunrise?
Dawn is dawn and dusk. Dusk is sunset. Dawn is sunrise.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was sunrise.
Anything for the dusk. It doesn't sound as good.
The dawn blade sounds great.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Anything for the dusk blade. Blades.
Blades. Yeah. I didn't even know what the name was before.
You know now. But he does nod at you.
Yeah.
Then looking at you for like a minute or a half, he goes, "So, anything else you want?" And I'm kind of here waiting for my group.
No, I like as soon as you said anything for the desk plate, I kind of just left. So yeah.
You head out meeting your team. So, with a new name that Nikolai now has, and new items, new gear, Finny and Ada, take your time. Your team does eventually converge back towards the area. Next destination, unless you decide to stick around for a bit in this city, you can if you did decide to. I will tell you, there's no more maps in this city, unfortunately. There are more things to do, just no maps, because I didn't prepare them in time. One thing does stack true. Whether you stay here or not, there's still that weird observatory that clearly is now found in the snow. We'll figure out who's there next time, as in the session for today.
Whoa, yay.
It just barely hit